I was just wondering if he's going to get over this. That's all only real problem I have.
Okay. Can you share with me his first initial, please?
B. His nickname, not his official initial would be W.
No, we'll go with his nickname because that's the energy that he's sort of.
Do you want to hear his? And you want just initial, or do you want his name?
Yeah, just his initial's fine because that enables me to tune into his soul. It's really interesting because he's absolutely terrified of getting a license. That's what the problem is. He wants it. He knows he needs it, but it's sort of like he gets to a point and it's like he's frozen in fear. It's like, oh my God, it's like. But one of the rare times that a young person sees it as a lethal weapon, your son sees a car as a lethal weapon, which most of them don't. They see it as, they're indestructible and they can do anything. Look, I think he will overcome this. Look, I appreciate the fact that, you needing to be mother, father, auntie, uncle and everybody all rolled into one, trying to sort of push him and motivate him to sort of take more responsibility for his life. Some young men don't necessarily do it as quickly as what we'd like to see. Your son's one of those. He's what I call a late. But look, when he does,
he's very cautious.
Yes, he's very cautious. But once he overcomes that, there'll be no stopping him. I feel in this next 12 to 15 months, it's going to be sort of almost you're ready to turn your hair out and sort of ready to sort of almost commit hurry-curry. And then all of a sudden he turns around and he comes home and he waves this thing in front of you and says, look, Mum, look what I've got.
Oh, good.
And you think, what are you doing? And it's his driver's license. He hasn't told you. He's done the test. He's had his lessons and he comes home as proud as punch to tell you he's got it. And I think the reasons why he's not going to tell you is he's fearful he's going to fail. And if he fails, then, he thinks you're going to sort of say, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? So he does it on his own and he does it in his own time. And it's going to take him probably 3 months to achieve it, but he'll take some secret driving lessons with a driving school and get his license, and that's when he's going to do his proudest punch and wave to you that he's got it, and that will be the start of him taking the reins to the rest of his life. It's sort of like that's the confidence boost that he needs. He's going to actually go back and do some more study, that's work-related after this happens. This boy's very bright. He just needs to do it in his own time. And, like where somebody else might have done it at 16, he might take till he's 22 to do it. There's no bus timetable. Yeah. He's a very intuitive, very kind, decent young man. You should be very proud of the young man that you've raised.
Oh, yes.
He'll do you a good turn before a bad turn, and that's really important. And it's just that part of it is it's a fear of he doesn't want to grow up. He doesn't want to take responsibility because he knows once he starts
when he was little.
Not hip hop as my producer would like, and it's certainly not noisy heavy metal really shine. So that's where we're going to leave Carol. So it's always interesting when we're dealing with children and, every child develops at a different stage and a different age, and boys sometimes are a little bit later bloomers than girls because, they don't necessarily want to take responsibility. They know what that's going to be, becoming a man, and that's okay. And, we have to work with those sort of energies. So this week I'm going to leave you with a very old song, and it's certainly not hip-hop as my producer would like, and it's certainly not, noisy heavy metal or anything like that, but it's a very beautiful old song from an English group, and it's called Bus Stop by the Hollies. And I just think it's one of those timeless sort of songs that, it talks about love and it talks about young love and people sort of, getting their confidence about, taking steps in life, to be able to become grown-ups. And, here he sees this girl at the bus stop every day and he daydreams about her and hopes one day she'll be his bride. So what a beautiful song. So until next week, enjoy your week, and if you're happy to be catching a bus, look out for young people and the sort of the love sparks that fly between them, whether it's on a bus or a train or a tram or a rail car or whatever the case may be. Love blossoms in many different beautiful ways, and you don't always have to be young for love to blossom. It can happen at any age. So until next week, bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from TarotWithSteph.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Mini Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. This is your mini medium on the A1R Psychic Radio and the beautiful Moonstruck TV. I am Stephanie Cowan, and here again, a beautiful week of just some amazing connections. I can feel it. So I'm excited to see how the energy that I've been feeling all day really just carries over into tonight's podcast. So super excited. I don't know about you guys, but I've been finally feeling better as far as just the energy that we've had out there. Gosh, I know I'm not one that's all about I'm not as versed as the other very talented and very gifted others on A1R, but as far as planet alignments and the energy, but I do know that, the last few months we were kind of in this rut as Mars was in retrograde, and I can feel it. So I feel like the energy is getting better. I don't know about you guys, but I was having awful migraines, and I don't get those very often, but when I do, I can tell it's right before I have like an energy shift, a change in kind of my direction and my energy. So thank goodness that is better, and thank goodness that I'm feeling that we're on the up and up. So I hope you all are going through that same feeling. If not, be patient. It's coming. I know it. I can feel it. I do know we're going into this season of even into the Aries, which the Aries sign is that fire sign, right? And that's where things get ignited. Just for you Aries out there, you fire signs, a little bit of kind of a suggestion, make sure that your non-filtered ways are maybe a little more filtered from what I understand. So people are going to start voicing their true thoughts and feelings, emotions, opinions. And although sometimes I feel like that I envy those people, I say, just be careful, maybe put a little bit of a filter on it. So a little bit of, mini medium, Stephanie, good energy advice for the future here. So anyhow, so a couple things I wanted to share really quickly. I have just been I've had so many beautiful events coming up. And if you're here in Utah, please go to my website, or even if you're not in Utah, go to my website, mini-medium.com. Come to Utah, come see me. Let's get together, do a private reading, or I have many events that are coming up, and I'll tell you, I am just super, super excited for all of these things coming, collaborating with some very beautifully gifted people here in Utah. So, so just want to share my excitement and my growth. And I think that's all part of what this year is. So, all right. Now, as many of you know, who've been following me, I will get numbers. And it's very interesting. I have been going back and forth today, which this happens often when the number is connecting with, obviously one of my callers, both of my callers tonight, but I have been getting the number 17 as a very strong number. And then right after that, the number 23 has been very visual. So for those who are wondering, okay, well, great, what does that mean? Well, this means I'm connecting with, spirit, with someone's loved one who has crossed over. The number 17 and the number 23 will be a significant death date, birth date, age, year. This is kind of where they bring this in. So, we'll kind of see how that meshes in with tonight's callers. But with that said, I was going back and forth about whether or not I was going to pull a affirmation card or if I was going to pull an oracle, and I just felt affirmation was where I was heading. So I pulled the number 23, the 23rd affirmation. And so here is your beautiful affirmation for the week for all of y'all's. And boy, I think this will just resonate and fit in, I feel, for most people. But it says, my patience is being rewarded. My turn will come. So my patience is being rewarded. My turn will come. So this is where I'll tell you, if you know what that immediate gratification is about, it's like finding the patience and knowing, all right, good things come to those who wait, right? Very cliche saying, but it's very true without a doubt. So I know that there's many things that I have been patiently waiting to, manifest and have come my way when it comes to my journey and wanting to just do more events and bigger events. And it's coming, it's slowly. Last year, I was able to do a little mini tour on the East Coast, got to see many amazing, people and locations on the East Coast, and got to go to Indianapolis. And so it's getting there. And now I want bigger. I want bigger. So I'm really hoping, I'm not, I'm hoping, but I know it's coming. So anyhow, patience is being rewarded. My turn will come, whatever that may be. Just take in account that everything happens at the right divine time. And I know that's so hard sometimes to wrap your head around and to trust, but I'm telling you, take it from the mini medium, take it from me. I don't know how much that matters, but I'm telling you, the stuff comes. So, all right, my friends, well, let's go ahead and take our first caller. And boy, this is Charles Sia from Tennessee. Is that right? Hi, Charles Sia.
Yes, you said it. You said it perfectly. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I have never heard that name before. It is beautiful.
Thank you so
does
much.
Does it come from a handed down family name or someone that has crossed over, by the way?
It was a friend of the family.
A friend of the family? Yeah. And it just really, has that friend passed?
I am not certain, actually.
Oh, okay. I just had, the minute I said your name, I had chills everywhere. And a lot of times that's my body's way of just responding to spirits. So just kind of curious if that did or not. But anyhow, I think it's a beautiful name and it fits with your beautiful energy. So I'm excited to see what happens today with your reading. So how can I help you tonight?
Me too. Thank you so much. I'm really open, just maybe for a message for my highest and greatest good.
Beautiful. Oh, I love how you put that. I love it. You got it, my friend. So let me ask you, I think I'm going to use a few cards. So we're going to throw a few tarot cards in the mix here. You may have heard, as I was saying earlier, numbers come in, they'll connect with you, as a birth date, death date, or maybe a favorite number. But the number 23 and the number 17 have been very strong today. Do you resonate with one of those numbers, or both for that matter?
17, I think. I remember someone asking me what my favorite number is, and that's the number that I landed on.
Oh, I love
17.
that. I love that. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Well, I'll tell you that is just some validation of our beautiful connection and just the purpose and the intent of you and I connecting. So I love it. All right. I love that you're very open and just to whatever message comes here. So I'm going to pull a few cards for you and see what, yeah, you're welcome. Of course. And thank you for calling in. I love it. Okay. All right, my friends. So I just kind of intuitively pulled a few cards for you. One, yes, I counted the number 17th card. This is kind of how I mesh your energy into the reading. And the first card you pulled, I love this for you, is this beautiful strength card. And girl, if that is not you, I don't know what is. So this beautiful Leo, all about the lioness and that strength, I feel without a doubt is going to be part of your message tonight, but it really embodies who you are. And I knew that the minute you hopped on. So lots of that beautiful energy of the strength that you have had to really endure to get through a lot of what I see that you went through. So we'll talk a little bit more about that and how it's meshing. But the other card you pulled, or we pulled with your reading, is this Ace of Cups card. And that card came out of the deck upside down. So that's really connecting with your shadow work, which is really the things for who are not familiar with shadow work. It's what you're working on just for yourself, or what you need to work on to just try to be the best version of you. So when I see these for you, my friend, boy, you are really having a very transformational year. And last year was the year of karmic energy. So a lot of what we were putting out into the universe, if not all of it, was coming back tenfold, meaning twice as much. So there's such a sense, I feel, that you've got a great optimistic, way of looking at things, very positive. And it's a feeling of that you're getting back in return all of the hard work that you've been putting into just in your journey. You're very spiritual. There is no doubt about that. One thing I love that I'm connecting to for you as well is that beautiful heart chakra. And that is one thing I say women, we really struggle with, releasing the energy, getting that chakra working. You've done a lot of work, my friend. I can feel it. Do you feel like you're being able to kind of, get past some of these blocks and barriers that you've had?
I do. I feel like I've been digging kind of back into the shadow work. And then when you mentioned heart chakra, it just made me take a really relieving deep breath.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I love it. And that, I think sometimes, I think sometimes, I know without a doubt that, us as humans need validation of our work. It's what helps keep us going in life. And, some people say, well, I don't need validation. I don't need someone to validate. Well, sure you do. Someone's got to let you know that, they can see your progress or validate your hard work. And that's what I feel for you. So, this Ace of Cups actually also represents new beginnings. The ace is the beginning of, in a standard deck of cards, the ace is the beginning card in every suit. So this is the beginning of you filling up all these cups, which is what I see that you're doing, and letting go of the things that have not been serving you in a positive way. So if anything, there's such a beautifully strong message for you, my friend, that, you've got a very strong grandmother, mother energy. I just felt come in. Oh boy, I just got chills on my whole left side. Your left side is your divine feminine. Yep. And how proud that this mother is of you, and how you have dug deep into finding yourself and the roots and, where you came from, and not just finding them, but learning to, take care of them, to nourish them, to get you to where now you are fully blooming, if you will, into your true soulful, beautiful self, if you will, and what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. So, I will tell you, I'm supposed to also mention that where you are at in your life with children, that they are okay with this. I don't know why that's important, but I had to tell you. Does that make sense?
It does, very much so. Thank you.
Hey, you're so welcome, my friend. You're welcome. And this is your beautiful life, journey that, in this lifetime. I mean, I feel like we have many, but, that's a whole other show. But I'll tell you, if anything, the biggest message for you, my friend, is please do not stop the progress. Keep moving forward. And I'll tell you, I'll even say, as I'm tapping into some clairvoyancy, premonitions, predictions, I would say about, let's see, July, August, about the July, August time, I really feel you're going to see a beautiful shift in your path, in your energy, where I feel that next spiritual ascension or spiritual awakening, as we call it, is coming. So be prepared, watch for that to come. They can be very exhausting. They can feel like sometimes they'll make you feel lost. So if you're in that mindset, just get yourself back to center, get yourself grounded, and keep moving forward. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, you're so welcome, my friend. I hope this helped you. And just knowing that you've got such a beautiful maternal, motherly support on the other side that is just validating your life decisions, I think is just beautiful. So I hope that helped you tonight.
This was so wonderful. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate it.
You're so, so welcome. Thank you for calling in, and have a wonderful night, and take care of you. Sending you lots of good love and light.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, hon. Okay, bye-bye. All right, beautiful. Okay, we got some time to take another caller. And I think this is Connie, and Connie's from Canada. Hi, Connie, this is Mini Medium.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi.
How are you doing, hon?
I'm okay. Yeah, it was weird because I was on the same call as the other person, and I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or not.
Oh, no. Oh, how funny. You were kind of in the waiting room for me. I love it, though. Well, so
Okay.
Since you got to hear, do you connect or resonate with like the number 23 or the number 17?
23 is, well, no, not really, no.
Okay.
July 23rd is my partner's birthday.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know anything about you, my friend. I had no idea who I was
April
connecting
17th,
with.
my son's girlfriend's coming on the 17th from England.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, I have a feeling I know why that we're connecting with your partner's birth date and where that your special guest is coming from England. That's awesome. I love it. But I'll elaborate on that a little bit more in a moment. But how can I help you tonight? Did you have a specific question?
I do have a specific question. Do you do health at all?
I sure do. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So I was off sick for about 3 years from work because I have a hip tear, and
Okay.
I've been to one orthopedic surgeon to get it fixed because it really gets really painful, and I haven't been to work because of it. I've been off on a disability. Now I have an appointment with another orthopedic surgeon on the end of the month, and he's a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon, and I'm terrified to go, but I don't know maybe if this man can help me. One already said no, that he couldn't help me, and so I haven't returned to work because I can't get it fixed.
Okay. So is your question really, should we go to the doctor, the sports medicine, or or what is the question ultimately that I can help you with?
Like, is he going to help me? Is he going to help me, or is he not going to help me?
Okay, perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure I understood and answered your question the best I can. So,
Okay.
I feel like that, through life, we're always told, get a second opinion, right? Get a second opinion. And, I agree with that. I really do. But I also feel like that we know ourselves more than anybody else. I feel we just, this is just my own belief, whether you believe in God or the universe, whoever the higher power has really given women, and no offense to the men, but a mother's intuition. And women have a very strong intuition to where we've been given this so that we can, intuitively, connect to our babies or to other, women, men, whatever it may be. And so when I was listening to you, there's such a hesitation about this other doctor that I feel you know the answer, my friend. I feel you do, but sometimes, like I just mentioned with my last caller, it's nice to just feel validated, It's just nice for someone to say, yeah, actually, I think you're right, So when I see this other doctor, now don't get me wrong, amazing. I love the physicians, the doctors, and obviously I'm not a doctor, so I can't advise. However, I really feel I want you to listen to your beautiful intuition, and the sports medicine part of it, as I put this in, I don't feel this aligns with you. I just don't feel this is what the problem
is. Like I'm not into sports at all. I'm not into sports at all. So I couldn't figure that part out really. But I guess a hip tear maybe has to do with sports medicine. I don't know. It's not like I go out and play football or hockey or, wouldn't that be sports medicine? And so I guess you don't see me returning back to work then.
Well, and here's the thing, I really feel that, I'm going to tell you, go see this doctor, and here's why. Because, and this is where I was going to say, listen to the intuition, but I'm going to there's a feeling I'm getting, this is why I do what I do, and it's a feeling, it's a vision I see, that this doctor is going to open up some more doors. They may not be able to help you directly, but I feel this doctor is going to give you some more options, open up some more doors of someone that can, so you can go back to work. Now, I'm a little bit worried, if you will, maybe a little reluctant about you not going back to work, and for a couple reasons. One, a financial aspect, but also an emotional one. You have such a beautiful energy, my friend. I can tell that you're very social. You just can get along with people. And if you are at home, my friend, and not doing anything to have that exchange of energy with other people, you will just get in that dark space. And I would hate for that to happen. So if anything, maybe not going back to doing what you used to do, which I don't feel that that's ultimately where I'm seeing you headed. But regardless, you've got to get back to work, and I do see that. I do see it. But this doctor, this sports medicine, I really feel go and see what they have to say, because I'm telling you, mark my words, my friend, they're going to give you some more, whether it's tools
options
to use to help you. Yeah, options. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for, that he could help me in other ways, even like some way of, some options at least, Yeah, because the other guy just said, no, I can't help you. And, go to pain management basically, and then my original orthopedic surgeon that sent me to him said, oh no, we're not going to send you there, they're just going to put you on pills. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't take pills. I'm a vitamin person, but I don't do well with pills because I'm allergic to a lot of things, that they make me break out, or I don't, you know what I mean? So
well, and it would just be,
I look for natural alternatives. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And, it's your way of connecting with your intuition, right? You are intuitively knowing yourself and your body and what it needs. And that's why I feel like you going and seeing this, sports medicine, and not, hearing sports medicine, I kind of laugh because I thought, well, I don't see, like you had said, I don't see how they're playing football or hockey or, maybe, I don't know, maybe bowling or golf or, but still we use our hips for all of that stuff, So,
but doctors know more doctors, and they know other doors that can open, and that's why I said I should just go anyways.
Agreed.
My intuition is telling me to go. I think I have a strong intuition, and my intuition is telling me that I've been cooped up too long, because I do have an energy, and it's killing me just to not do something.
Yes.
So,
100%.
yeah.
Absolutely, my friend. And, I'll tell you, that connection with the numbers, being the 23, connected to your partner, and then the 17th of April being such a significant date of having, this guest coming in. I'm going to tell you this again, I've got such a lot of mother energy coming in. So has mom crossed over? Has your mom passed?
Yeah, my mom passed over. Yes, she did. Yeah.
Okay, I have a feeling your mom is here. This is her way of guiding you. This is her way of saying, and I'll tell you, there's such an approval and wanting you. It's very important I let you know that 23 being connected to your partner is your mom's approval of who you are with and loving this person and what they are doing for you. The number 17 of who is coming in to see you is going to be such a beautiful, enlightening visit that it's just going to be
she's very enlightening. She's wonderful. Yeah, she's very enlightening. I understand my mom approves of the man that I'm with, but am I with the right man? I always wonder if I'm with the right man, because sometimes he drives me nuts. I've been with him 25 years, but I
Wow. Wow.
Sometimes I just don't know if he's the right. He gets on my nerves so bad.
Right. I think we all kind of go through that at times, right?
We go through that. I just always wondered if my relationship is okay, or if it's been hard on my health or hard on my stress.
Yeah.
Because my health was really not good for 3 years.
Well, and I'll tell you, and that very well, not knowing this, ultimately about, you and your partner, but hearing your mom or feeling your mom say to tell you that she approves and likes or loves how this person has been in your life and supporting you. I really feel that's, in a sense, the answer that mom's trying to give you, that, to stick it out, hang in there, that you guys are meant to be together, even though you drive each other crazy, but, so.
Yeah, well, sometimes he just gets he's like who he is, but disrespectful almost, but I don't know if it is, honestly, or if it's just me because I'm cooped up now.
Yeah,
and you said, and I'm tired. I really do want to go back to work, even if.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Beyond the Veil with your medium, Shelley Shonwall. Live from yourmedium.ca. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Beyond the Veil on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Veil. I'm your host, Shelley Schonwald. Before we take our caller here, Spirit has been asked me to talk a little bit about grief and why we come to mediums and have discussions with mediums. And generally, it's driven by grief. And people think of grief as only being, well, I'm grieving a loved one or I'm grieving the loss of a pet. But you can grieve many things in your life. If you lose a job, you could be grieving the fact that your life has been altered and, not by your own choosing. You can grieve your health. If circumstances change and you suddenly found yourself ill, you can grieve the person that you used to be. We can also grieve ourselves and our former selves prior to trauma that occurs, and life can be very difficult, as we are all aware. And none of us are immune to life changes and being struck by whatever type of grief that's inflicting our lives. I mean, we often have the loss of relationships, maybe a divorce, or potentially, losing a friend as well. Those are all things that I see people very often to talk about and work through those moments of grief. So we do have a caller here, I believe, and we're just going to see it's Michelle in Oshawa, Ontario. Michelle, are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm well. I'm getting over a cold, but we're all right. We're here. We're happy. So what brings you to me today, Michelle?
I was just wondering if I could possibly get a love reading.
Okay. Now it feels like you've recently had a separation.
Yes.
Okay. Now what I'm hearing is it was kind of out of the blue.
Out of the blue?
Yeah, it was not what you were expecting to have happen in life. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. That's true, yes.
Okay. Because it just feels like it's all of a sudden your world spun out of control as you lost your partner. Okay. So yeah, this is one of the things that we can certainly grieve is the loss of a relationship. And what they're saying to me is that get back on the horse again. You know what I mean? It's it feels to me like this wasn't catastrophic. It was shocking, but it does not feel like this was a catastrophic thing. I lost my husband after 27 years. Okay. Now he's still alive though, right?
No, he passed.
Oh.
I'm into my first relationship since it's been 6 years since he passed, but I just got into recently into a new relationship about 2 years ago, I guess. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm seeing two different relationships going on there. Okay, so now with the loss of the husband, I'm going to ask the spirit to give me a little bit more about that one. Okay, yeah, this was what they're saying to me. It was out of the blue. You were not expecting him to pass. Okay.
No, no.
Okay, but when we're looking at this, it's always hard to lose a loved one, but you were still left. What they're saying to me is that you were still left in good standing. Otherwise, like you're grieving the loss of a relationship of a partner, but all the facets around you were still okay. So it wasn't like your entire, a plunger went into your home and blew everything up. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, because what they're saying is that you were able to grieve and move on with the relationship. Now, with this new relationship, now it's interesting because it feels like is somebody on the fence with this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's just it's not feeling like it's fitting the bill for you.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. And
The
what they're
clarity
saying
of it,
is,
yeah.
yeah, you know, you deserve better than that. Right? You had
Yeah.
27 years with a man, you know, and it was for better, for worse. You know, won't dig into all that, but right. I mean, it was still a relationship that you know, endured the test of time. But this is feeling different for you. And you know what? I'm almost hearing that it was a little bit too soon, and perhaps that's why things just, you know, you didn't find quite the right fit.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. Yeah.
You know, and it's, of course, after losing someone for been a part of your life for so very long, we you know, we're lonely, right? And he was always there with you, and suddenly they're gone. Now I'm having a man move in close to me, and it's I'm hearing that you know, you're not supposed to be alone, but it feels like there's better for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
You know, and it's what I'm getting is that there's like a, you know, big exhale on both parts, because I'm getting the sense it doesn't feel quite like it's clicking together for both sides.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't know what he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants both.
It's just,
he wants me and everything else. Yeah. Right.
You know, that's not going to happen, right? Right, Michelle?
No, it's not. No.
You
wants me to be. Yeah.
Yes. You had somebody who was dedicated to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants he wants me to be dedicated to him, but he wants to still be single too, right? But me to be there for him. Yeah. Like, you know,
You're not that kind of person, though. You had a long relationship, and you had somebody by your side for 27 years, and you should expect no less.
Yes, I agree.
No less than that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. This person is just not. Yeah, it's kind of wishy-washy, and it's not your doing. None of this is your fault. It almost feels like there's some sort of like, oh, am I doing something wrong? You're not. What you need to do is do what's right for yourself. And then by doing what's right for yourself, it's right for him too.
Okay.
Because he moves on, he can do his own thing, but it feels like there's somebody out there that will fit the bill for that. That's also looking for that commitment, right?
Okay.
Because you enter marriage right? It almost feels like you've met this person before.
Oh, really? He's already in my life? Yeah.
Possibly, yes. Yeah. It feels like in passing, or you may have met this person before. But what I'm getting from this man in spirit is saying, like, he made sure that everything was taken care of so that you would be okay, that life wouldn't fall apart if he left. He was good that way, right? There wasn't stuff left unturned. And he says, expect no less from someone else that you get into a relationship with. He did that because he loved you, and he took care of you and made sure that you were going to be all right. You know, some relationships in the end, especially when you have someone passing, it can be catastrophic. I mean, people, you know, lose their homes, you know, they lose access to bank accounts. It can be really, really stressful and hard and completely upending you. You didn't have that happen because your husband loved you, right? Now, he wants you to have somebody like that again that's going to take care of you. And he says, expect no less than that, but ask for more.
Okay.
You know, I got it. And you were good to your husband too. You were a good partner, and you've been good to this person that you've been kind of in a relationship with. But it's time to get yourself into a situation where you feel that love and security again, because you deserve it. You were good to your husband. There's no doubt about it. I'm feeling that it was a good relationship, not without its relationship quirks, because 27 years is a long time to be with someone, right? And the relationship evolved over time, but it was still good. It was still good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
we
missed
definitely
that.
still love each other. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we missed that. And it feels like the person that's going to come into your life is like that, that will have an evening to have conversations with you, just sit and have a conversation, be there with you, and not always on the run. Right? It feels like this person that you're with right now is just always out doing something else, and it doesn't include you.
That's so true.
The person that you're going to find is going to be inclusive of your life. And I see your your relationship with your husband and this new relationship. They're looking at you with love. Your husband looked at you. He looked at you he had such love in his eyes for you. And you'll find that again. You're going to have that again. But what I'm hearing from this man is put yourself first in all of this.
Okay.
It's there for you, but you have to you have to shed the skin with this person and really take a soul search. Remember what was beautiful about your relationship with your husband, and then look for that.
Okay.
That helps.
Thank you. Yes, it does.
You're welcome.
Very much. It gave me some clarity. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It was wonderful talking to you, Michelle, and I know there's great things around the corner for you.
No, thank you. That's good to hear. Okay, thank you very much. That really helps.
Have a wonderful night. All right. Well, that was another caller. Again, it's, when we have somebody come in for readings, it's often about grief. Grieving relationships is also a very, very common one. And it's hard to lose a partner and then put yourself back out there to find someone who matches that energy that you had at that one point in time. But it's definitely possible. We just have to remember what makes us happy and then go forth with that. Put it out to spirit. Say, this is what I loved. Help me find that again. But again, do your part with it too, right? We also have to do that as well. So as I leave you tonight, I wish you all well. And remember, put it out to spirit what you need and want, and then go help them with the legwork and see what they come up with for you. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Insights with Solaris with Jennifer. Live from Solaris.1. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Insights with Solaris on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Insights with Solaris, where I'm your host, Jennifer, a tarot reader for over 10 years, and I have over a dozen certifications from like in astrology, numerology, to all types of energy healing. But I always come back to say I am simply a channel of spirit, and I bring messages and healings for those who find me. And I always start out with a collective message for whoever is watching. And so this is just energies to be aware of over the next 7 days, sometimes a little bit longer. It's going to fall out a little bit differently from everyone, but the overall themes will be a bit relevant as we move forward. And it seems like over the next 7 days, there's going to be a lot of balancing that's being requested for you. This could be all sorts of things. As I said before, it's a collective reading, so it's going to affect each person a little bit different. So you may be balancing work with getting enough sleep, or you could be balancing time with your family, friends, loved ones, and also making sure that you need time to yourself as well. So there is this portion of romance also taking a new direction in creative projects. So as you're balancing these things, you may get a little bit anxious at times. That's completely okay. You don't always have to take action immediately. You can wait, you can think things through. As long as you don't let the fear-based thoughts consume you, it's completely okay to just rest. Find that balance, take a few steps back, whatever it is that you want. But just know that it's okay to be a bit playful as well. There may be a lot on your plate over the next 7 days, but just know as you are moving about, one thing to really consider, especially if you're balancing relationships, whatever type of relationship they may be, family, children, romance, criticizing somebody in an unconstructive way is only going to lead to further unhappiness. Love is about accepting each other as you are and meeting each other in the present moment. And sometimes there may be that balance, the imbalance, I should say, in this particular thing where you could be afraid to speak up as well, or coming out and trying to say, I'm dissatisfied in this way or another. It's okay. Again, you don't have to make any steps this week or even next week or ever. It's completely up to you. But just know that love and understanding is important. And there is going to be a shift in perspective should you choose that. Because the balance you have right now may not necessarily be completely satisfied for all parties. And this isn't going to be a message for everyone. I'm going to repeat that as well, as it's a collective message. While this may be romance for another person, this could also be a situation in your workplace. But there is a dissatisfaction here, and it's time to say, let's look at these fears and decide if we want to change anything so we can have more happiness in the future. And so if that message does resonate for you, I wish you luck over the next 7 days. Just remember that you have what it takes to solve all your problems when you are ready for them to be solved. So we are going to go to our caller today, and we have Kelly from Virginia. Hello, Kelly.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
All right. How are you?
Oh, I'm fabulous. I love being here. I love meeting everyone across the country and also from other countries too. So, what type of questions do you have for me tonight?
I guess I'm just whatever you pick up.
Okay. So there seems like immediately, there is a question on your mind, and that's okay. We can go into it, or we can just kind of get the information without diving that deep into it. But first things first is that you have the answer and you need to do what's right. Everything is within this heart space, right? And when you are able to lead with your heart, that's when things move quickly for you. But it is important to know as you are moving on is that you must be aware of anything that you are projecting onto a person or a situation, because this is positive and negative. So when you see somebody and like, oh my gosh, that person is so charismatic or they're so friendly and happy, you only see that because you are capable of having that as yourself. So if there's anything that you don't like in a person or anything that you really like in a person, just make sure that you are looking at how you project onto other people, and just allow that reflection to come into play as you're moving across the next couple of weeks, because you're going to need a lot of inner strength over the next couple of weeks, particularly around relationships. Is there a particular relationship that you've been having on your mind?
Just it's been a couple years that I've been single, and I feel like I'm starting to feel ready, maybe, but I'm just not sure. But not anybody in particular, no.
Okay. In previous relationship, the last relationship, did you ever like think that you were moving too quickly or you rushed into things? You didn't really get to know them as a person truly?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So the good thing is that part is in the past, right? You have learned your lessons on that, and I love that. Because hey, it's over. Now you can move forward. But regarding relationships, it does seem like you may have had like a type of soulmate relationship in the past that you were meant to learn from. Now, soulmates they don't always mean like you have to be romantically involved and you're going to spend your entire life together. It could be somebody who comes in for a few months or even a couple of days to teach you a lesson. But it seems like you do have a person that you're still kind of attached to, whether it's not as physically or you're in the same sphere of existence currently. There is part of you that is still like, oh, this does not turn out the way I want it to. And there is part of you that is still holding on to the ideal of that connection, which is kind of why you're like, okay, I think I'm ready, but I'm not quite. So there could be a little bit more healing work there, but embrace it. Embrace that you found something in past relationships, and it doesn't always have to be romance, to be friends and family. It's moving forward. And it's going to be a while for this to all click into place, but it's not about finding your missing piece in another person. It's about finding people and surrounding yourself with friends, family, and partners that supports your strengths and your weaknesses. So as we were talking about before, all of the good qualities you see in somebody is because you've recognized it, because you have felt it, you have experienced it at some point. So we can absolutely say, oh my gosh, this person is strong, they're very good at budgeting, however it may be. It's just a reminder of that. It's not about finding somebody who completes you, as I know there's a big exaggeration, especially in media, of like finding the perfect person. That doesn't really exist.
Right.
But you're about ready to just completely close this lesson. And I love that underneath all of this is the wish card coming in. So you are stepping in subconsciously, you are just enveloping all these lessons to be a more balanced version of yourself and also opening up. So there may still be a couple of weeks before you're like, okay, I want to get back out into the dating scene. I'm ready for this, because you're still at that beginning stage. But that's okay, because right now it's being like you're pretty happy, like you have a good foundation, you're smart, definitely, and you're objective. And I like seeing that you're in this position now, because in the past, right, moving too quickly, you were wanting passion, and it was just completely covering your sense of self and logic, and that's not going to happen again. You've learned those lessons. So
definitely,
let's see what we have coming up. Oh, absolutely. You're stepping into where you are balancing your emotions and logic and understanding what you want. And it does seem like you're going to start pulling in potential partners to continue to help you grow in this balanced way. Because it's less about finding a person, but more about, okay, am I content? Am I happy? Am I willing to allow someone to add to that happiness now? And it seems that in the beginning, you're going to have your guard up a lot. And that's completely okay, right? You can baby step, you can jump right into the pool, but that's going to be uncomfortable for you. So step your toe into the water. When you're ready, right? Those partners, those opportunities will naturally come in a bit more for you. And
Okay.
again,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of fours for you. So like over the next couple of weeks, like 4 weeks, and then going into the summer months, I'm seeing like a barbecue or like some type of outing as well, where you may actually want to bring like a possibly a potential partner into like an outside settings and like kind of mingle and introduce to friends and family. So that's all possibilities, but for you, the major theme of this is, do you know what you want now? And can you answer
Yeah.
that question now?
Yeah, I definitely learned from the past. I will say that. And I instead of being bitter about anything, I'm just grateful actually for the lesson because I needed that. So
Yeah. And I like lessons can be hard, but as I'm seeing things continue to unfold out for here, again, you have free wish cards here. So you're manifesting and you're bringing in a person that will really bring a lot of joy into your life. So look for the number 9 for like signs of when you're meeting people, like, oh, hey, do you want to go meet at 9 p.m.? Or is it when you go out and for a cup of coffee, your total is $9? So it's kind of things like that. You are continuing to heal. Don't rush that process, okay?
yeah,
Those opportunities and that person that you connect with, or multiple people you want to connect with, is going to happen. And it's going to unfold in a comfortable way. It's not that hot, heavy passion. It's not anxiety or infatuation. It's truth, and it's going to be love. So hang in there, and
yeah.
I hope for the best because it is going to be quite a journey for you, Kelly.
Oh, thank
But
you.
good, in
so
a very
much.
good way. In a very good way.
Yeah, I do believe that. I think I've been through all the toads, you would say, or whatever, and it's my time to maybe find the one someday, when it. Bless you.
Yes, and best of luck, Kelly.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyons.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is New York City Celebrity Psychic on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, darling ducklings. I'm Perry Lyons, and I'm New York City Celebrity Psychic. This is my retreat here. That Chinese screen in the back is, it's from China. Okay. Anyway, I am, we're snowed in where I am right now. So I haven't, I'm a little out of touch with humanity. So we're going to dive right into the psychic tarot weather. And psychic tarot weather is like regular weather, except less damaging to crops. While I'm doing this, please feel free to call in and ask me any question that's in your heart, as long as it's not calculus, geography, or certain aspects of geometry. Physics is okay. Anyway, so the first card represents the beginning of the week, starting today. So the second card is the weekend. The third card is the rest of the week until next Wednesday. Hi, Melissa. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, Perry.
Hi, sweetie.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Good. I'm just going to do the psychic tarot weather. So I'm going to ask you to do some vagus nerve breathing, VAGUS nerve breathing. Goes like this until I come back to you. So just breathe in deeply, like that, and then breathe in once on top of that, like that, and then breathe out through pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle. It's a little undignified, and it will amuse any toddlers in your vicinity. But do that like 3 times just to bring your central nervous system into alignment, as opposed to the vagus nerve, VAGAS, which is when stimulated, where you wake up in a hotel in a Nevada city surrounded by 10 unconscious sex workers, 10,000 empty bottles of liquor, and a missing decade of your life. But enough about my personal life. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Melissa means honey in Greek, doesn't it?
What's that?
Melissa means honey in Greek, right?
Yeah, I think it means honeybee.
Okay, either is good. So, all right, here's the psychic weather for the week. This is for you and everybody. And then we'll get to your specific question. You sound really nice. I'm glad you called. Yay. Okay. So the first part of this is an interesting card. I'm going to have to put my finger over parts of it. I didn't realize this is a fairly uninhibited tarot deck. Okay. So I'm putting my fingers over the naughty bits. Sorry, I need a manicure. So the first, this is the card of, it's the devil card, but it doesn't mean literally like, ooh, big guy with horns and, you know, that thing. What it does mean is that you might be in a time of quitting being in bondage to something or someone. So you might be struggling to quit drinking or smoking, or maybe getting out of a relationship that some part of you knows is not good for you. And this card is saying that you've got a lot of sort of angelic energy behind you supporting that decision. So anything you decide to stop doing, whether it's smoking, drinking, toxic relationship, crochet, excuse me. Actually, I think you can keep doing crochet. So that's the first part of the week. Interestingly, a second part of the week, the weekend, it's a great card for the weekend. This is the victory in, can you see this? It's it's the Chariot card. It's a chariot being pulled by a black sphinx and a white sphinx. And what that means is sphinxes are useful. What it means is combining arts and business. So you might be getting a new job where you combine something sort of arts related and something business related, or you might be starting your own side hustle, which combines both. Or you might be, it's usually woman-led business. So you might be sorry about that. And the last card, I'm almost there, Melissa. Oh, this is really nice. We have the Six of Cups. This always means to me that somebody you used to love or used to be friends with or was very important to you is coming back into your life. This could be the return of an old lover. I mean, young, but not a current love. Oh, you know what I mean. It could be you reconnecting with a friend from maybe childhood. But it's a wonderful card. And whenever it shows up, it presages a time of kind of sweetness, nostalgia, and reminiscence and good stuff. So it's going to be a good week. Okay. All right, my darling, how can I help you?
I kind of a general question, I guess. Where do you see me within the next year in, kind of love and life? Where do you see my path going? Is it going to be with somebody, by myself? Do I kind of stay put and grow as I am? What do you see kind of towards the end of this next year?
Gotcha. Good question. What day is your birthday? I like to connect people
February
through their
9th.
Oh,
February 9th. I'm going to be 45 and
oh, you're just a baby. She's older than you. Okay. What has happened? Melissa? The fact that you're not in a relationship right now is, on some level, your choice, because the relationship that's coming towards you, and it is, but it's not immediate. You've some part of your spirit or soul has chosen to be by yourself right now, so you can grow into your own expectations rather than anybody else's. You have a tendency, well, I mean, we all do. We all have a tendency to kind of change ourselves a little bit to be with the person that we are in love with. But for you, you've been changing very fast. The last few months, last year kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie. This year's going to be much better, and you're going to notice this kicking in right after your birthday, around February 15th to 25th. I think you're not going to meet, I don't feel like men, women, llamas, whoever this person is. I'm just going to call them Bob. I don't know. I just like the name Bob.
That was my ex-boyfriend's name. That's funny.
Well, that's just my job. It's funny. It's not a name you hear very much anymore. Okay, so this feels to me like, well, he might be coming. If that Bob comes back around, you're done with him. Don't go back there, even if it's tempting. But you're very attractive. I mean, you just are. Yeah, I can see you. I'm good at remote viewing.
Thank you.
So you really don't have to worry about finding somebody, because the minute you decide that, okay, it's time for me to have a relationship, the person's going to appear. I think you're going to meet somebody. Are you traveling this summer? Are you going to like Greece in August or something?
No, I don't have any big travel plans quite yet. A few little ones, but nothing crazy big.
Okay. I think you're probably going to wind up taking a bigger I can't talk. Hold on. I'll rewind. There. I think you're going to wind up traveling farther and more than you think. You might be accidentally taking a cruise. That happened. I won a cruise once, and it's like, wow. So either somebody's going to invite you in one, or it looks to me like you're going to be traveling August, September. And I think that's where you're going to meet this person. Yeah, actually. Even if you don't have anything planned, trust me on this.
Okay.
but it's also going to happen. You really have been changing a lot, and in a very good way. And it can be lonely, it can be hard, it can be sad, but the worst of that is over, and you've learned, unlike most people, you've actually learned from your experience. Do you feel that's true?
Yes, that is very true.
Cool. Yeah, I think so too. Well, Aquariuses are great. You guys are awesome. You're not like other signs.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 11 other signs, and then there's Aquarius, and you're not like the rest of us. And that's a great thing. You guys are always very original. You very seldom let your heart speak louder than your head, and I kind of think that's a good thing. But the person you're going to find is somebody who's an intellectual equal, because one of the things you're doing this year is you're finding out, like on some level, you've always known you're really smart, but you're going to really dive into that this year. You might even go back to school, but on some level, you're going to take your intelligence. And do you write, or do you have kind of a writer way of looking at things?
No, I'm artistic, but no, I don't really do any of that currently. I do work a corporate ladder that I don't want to continue to climb, but I do.
Yes.
But I teach yoga. I do chakra balancing, like that type of stuff. So,
cool.
In essence, that's kind of artsy, more than corporate ladder.
Yeah, you're not a corporate person. I guess the artsy is what I was picking up on. I would keep your corporate job for now because there's going to be a lot of societal ups and downs coming up. So you want some stability. Mm-hmm. I would think about building something out from your yoga teaching. I teach Kundalini yoga.
Okay.
For you, I think that you might want to, I don't know if you teach at a specific place or you teach in a bunch of different places. What I'm getting is keep your practice steady. You can even up the time if you want, because what's going to happen in the next few months is what you want to do, the yoga, your creativity, and your ability to run a business, because you have a good business sense, even though you're creative. What's that like? They're going to combine to... I'm not sure if you might open your own yoga studio, but that wouldn't be for a year or two. What I think you might be doing is sort of, how can I put this? Get 90 seconds. I would concentrate in that because I'm getting a lot of green and gold light around that. And to me, that means that there's a lot of growth and healing, but there's also money. And we like money. Money is our friend. Money takes us out to dinner. Money is nice to us. So I think by the end of the year, your path is going to be a lot clearer than it seems right now. And you're going to start, I think by June or July, you're going to have some idea about how to package what you do, or how to sort of, I don't want to say brand because that's so gimmicky, but you're going to come up with something that's specifically Melissa. It's like Melissa Lini. Okay. Like Kundalini. Right after that is when your person is going to show up, because your trajectory this year is going up, and you're going to just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great, actually. I mean, now as opposed to you 10 years ago, unbelievable. Totally different person. Kind. I mean, you were kind.
Life shifts a lot.
Yeah, but you've done great. So trust yourself. You're going to have money. Trust the yoga thing. And give me a call when the guy shows up, because I want to say, I told you so.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Oracle Buffet with Heather Carmona. Live from PsychicAstrologyWI.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com, or Moonstruck.tv. This is Oracle Buffet on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey guys, valuable lessons were learned today, and that is to unmute my computer because I'm standing here waiting to go live and cricket, and apparently little X on the volume button means that it's muted. So my bad, disculpe. But here we are, we made it. We're only like a minute late. I only have one job. It's 13 minutes a week, and I can't even freaking do that right. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's Eclipse Day. The Year of the Fire Horse 2 is starting today, the new moon. All sorts of stuff today. I don't know about you, but I can feel the energy in the air, and it's palpable for sure. I didn't sleep great. I don't know if you slept great or not, but everyone I talked to did not, and I think that's due to the same reason, because of that energy. So instead of taking a call today, I decided we're going to pull some cards and do readings for the collective. Also want to let you know that I do have an eclipse reading special for the next couple days here on my website, Psychic Astrology, on Facebook, or psychicastrologywi.com. I'm doing $25 readings for the eclipse, like 20 minutes long. But anyway, only a few available. Get it while it's hot. Send me a message on my Facebook or email me, psychicastrologywi@gmail.com. All right. That being said, let's just get started. I'm all discombobulated now that I was late to work and, I didn't have the mute button on and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I need a message from the universe. So let's see what that message is. Universe, what does words. Universe, what do you want me, the Aries, to know today, and the rest of the Aries to know for this here eclipse? What does the universe want us Aries to know? And I got my sign all messed up. Jesus, I'm just kind of a hot mess today. That's okay. Thanks, universe. It's okay to feel what you need to feel. I've never seen this card in my entire time of pulling from the Oracle Buffet. It's okay to feel what you need to feel, Aries. And I feel discombobulated, but I shall recombobulate after the show. Taurus, what does the universe want you to know during this here eclipse? Taurus, got a couple. All right, surrender to success, Taurus. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. Uncertainty. Let me deeply trust. May I live in the now and relax peacefully into the unfolding, knowing all the pieces of the puzzle will fall into place at the right time and not a moment before. So you're feeling uncertain, Taurus, but know that it's just time to surrender to success. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Gemini, what does the universe want Gemini to know during this here eclipse? Gemini, uniqueness. I accept my own nature. Change me, divine beloved, into one who embraces my own uniqueness. Let me accept my own nature completely, knowing it too is divine. May I love myself as I am, and not as others say I should be. Gemini, are you loving yourself as you are with your uniqueness? Because you are unique. You're fun, you're playful, curious, and that's why we like you. Embrace your uniqueness, Gemini. Cáncer, ¿qué es lo que el universo quiere que sepa, Cáncer? What does the universe want Cancer to know today? Cancer tiene que saber. Oh, Cancer, you've been naughty. All right, Cancer. Love is organic. Love is a living, breathing thing. There's no need to force it. There's no need to force it to grow in a particular direction. If we start by being easy and gentle with ourselves, we will find it is inside of us, solid and healing. Love is organic, Cancer. Challenge. I embrace all tests. Allow me to flow with what cannot change. Let me embrace all tests and release any fear of loss, knowing that all can be replenished with ease by divine will. And everyone has value. Everyone has value. The challenge card, I embrace all tests and love is organic. Everyone has value, including you, Cancer. Love yourself and let the love grow around you. It's organic. Certified USDA organic. No, I'm kidding. All right. After Cancer comes Leo. Leo, what do you need to know? Leo, spinal. This. Intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. Give back. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. It is about giving back without any thoughts or expectations of getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirits, as it's highly likely that someone really needs it today. Follow your intuition and give back. That's what the universe wants you to know today, Leo. All right, Virgo. Virgo, what does the universe want you to know today? Virgo, we should drop from this side, I think. Oh, something fell. All right, Virgo, you should probably know we're going to do 2 cards for you. Devotion unites me with the infinite. Devotion unites me with the infinite. And balance. My needs will be met. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can fully offer my schedule to you so my life can be in balance. Let me take rest whenever necessary, trusting that one way or another, all needs will be met. That's perfect for you, Virgo, because you're so routine-oriented, so work-oriented, that balancing and trusting that your needs are going to be met is a great message for you. And also, devotion unites you with the infinite. And so it is. Okay, Libra. What does the universe want Libra to know? Libra, we're going to draw. Ooh. All right, Libra, you got a lot of cards. All right, practicing how human of me. What do you consider to be your faults? We all have them, and they make us human. These faults might be things like, I can be impatient, I can be demanding, I can be judgmental. Write a list of what you see as your faults or shortcomings. Now place a hand to your heart and review them all, adding the phrase, how human of me, after each one. Facing our humanness in a mindful way builds greater self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. Appreciating your humanness is the card. Transformation is possible when you hold the most troubled parts of yourself with compassion. When you see yourself as a human like all humans, one who has faults, difficulties, and continued struggles. Accepting our humanness isn't always easy. It's tempting to criticize ourselves for the very things that make us human. Yet embracing our human qualities, the things that we do not like about ourselves or wish we could improve, is the path toward healing and wholeness. When challenges arise, it is because you are human, not because you are imperfect. There you go. Now is the time to embrace your whole imperfect self as a loving elder would embrace a child. Can you hear the words of this wise elder who knows that learning and growth will only come from a compassionate heart? I accept my imperfect self. That's perfect for you, Libra. And surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing all the time. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. And finally, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. I'm not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world. I am willing to change and grow. Appreciate your humanness, accept divine timing, and change your thoughts, change your life. That's what the universe wants you to know today, Libra. That was a long one. Scorpio. All right, we're getting low on time. Scorpio, but we got enough. Scorpio, take action. What are we taking action on? Create healthy work habits. You formed healthy habits such as brushing your teeth, and you reward yourself by feeling good about it. Reward yourself for starting to work, even if it's only for 5 or 15 minutes, and it will become easier to start next time. Watch out for punishing a good habit with self-criticism, such as, you should have finished this weeks ago. Catch yourself doing something right. Reward work with short breaks, and you'll build healthy work habits. Take action, Scorpio. That's a beautiful one. Very straightforward. Sag, what does the universe want? Sag, how do you know? Sag, you should probably know this. Check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? Maybe you're drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring a feeling related to the outcome you seek, like safety or wholeness. Know that you will see a reflection in the outer world of the motive that drives you forward. Do you need motive? Can you simply just be pulled in the direction your soul calls toward joy, discovery, growth, or adventure, participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it? If you can step forward, surrender to whatever spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things turn out. Check your motives, then hand them over to spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know, Sagittarius, and I love you more than you know, Sag. You know who you are. All right, Capricorn, what does the universe want Capricorn to know? I have the ability to direct my own thoughts. You have the option of observing things as they are or imagining things as you want them to be. And whichever option you choose, your thoughts produce a vibration within you that equals your point of attraction. And then circumstances and events line up to match the vibrations that you have offered. Excuse me. Let us not hope for mere chance to change our story. Let us summon the courage to change it ourselves. Some will stand in our way, but we mustn't hide or minimize ourselves any longer. So basically, Capricorn, the universe is telling you to change your thoughts and change your story, and therefore change your life. Quantum physics. All right, Aquarius, what does the universe want Aquarius to know today? Inviting the bell. There is tranquility, calm, peace, and joy within us, but we have to call them forth so they can manifest themselves. Inviting the bell to sound is one of the ways to call forth joy and tranquility within us. If you want to invite the bell to sound, here's a short poem to learn by heart. Recite the first line of the poem as you breathe in, the second line as you breathe out, and so on. Body, speech, and mind, in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May all the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. Beautiful, Aquarius. Pisces, what does the universe want Pisces to know today? We got two cards. Pisces, seek hidden treasure. Find it, Pisces. And decisions. Perfect actions are shown. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can offer all decisions to you. May I trust during times of transition that the perfect actions will be shown. Grant me patience to allow events to line up as they need to. Seek hidden treasure and perfect actions are shown. So apparently, Pisces, the universe is going to show you where to find the hidden treasure. So let's go. Let's go find it. I'll go. I ain't got anything going. I mean, I do, but, for treasure, I can put that aside. Anyway, that is your eclipse card reading for all the different signs. We'll take a second to talk about some of our sponsors here. First sponsor is High Class Grass. High Class Grass is a plant-based company dedicated to helping making plant-based living more easy and convenient. Find them at high-classgrass.com, on the Amazon, on the TikTok, and on the old Walmart. And last but not least, the Lighthouse Center Inc. in Whitmore Lake, Michigan. Find them at lighthousecenterinc.org. If you're ever in the Whitmore Lake, Michigan area, stop by, take a class, do a meditation, check out the building, whatever you want to do. Anyway, they'd love to have you. And yeah, I think that's about it. This eclipse energy got me all crazy. And I'm already a little cray-cray to begin with, so it's not helping. But that being said, I have recombobulated. So with my recombobulation, I'm going to end today's show on that note. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and a wonderful eclipse season.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Amanda Hall Psychic with Amanda Hall. Live from AmandaHallPsychic.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Amanda Hall Psych on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV with Amanda Hall Psychic all the way from the Gold Coast. So I hope you've all recovered from Valentine's Day with all your candy and chocolates and flowers and going out here in Australia, well, where I was based on the Gold Coast. We had a lovely rain event, so nobody went really too far out of home over the weekend with Valentine's Day, but it was a really nice time. I had a nice time at home and watched a movie and just sort of chilled out and listened to the rain, which was a pleasant surprise. It was very dry here and very hot, so it was a welcome relief to have a little bit of coolness and a bit of rain to pitter-patter. So this week's card is a really interesting card. It's a card that sort of a lot of people sort of don't quite understand. It's the Judgment card. Now, this card has a number of different sort of not so much diverse meanings, but it's something that when you first taking up tarot, you sort of find a little bit complicated. The Judgment card means decisions pending finality. Now, that means that they're coming to a final situation. In a lot of cases, it will be the only decision that can be made under the circumstances. Now, it's not necessarily saying it's the wrong decision. It's not necessarily saying it's the best decision, but it is the best decision that can be made given all the circumstances that you have. And I know there'll be many times in your life where you've got to make a final decision on something and it's still not quite right, or not the way you would have hoped or the way you anticipated, but you know that it's the only way that you can go. This is when the Judgment card comes into being. It's sort of like, this is it. This is the best decision we can make with the information and the tools that are available to us at this point in time. Yes, you might have made a different decision given different set of circumstances or a different time frame, but at this present second, when you've got to make that decision, this is the best decision that you can make. So don't be frightened of the Judgment card. I actually think it's a very powerful and a very positive card, because it means that you've thoroughly thought things through. You haven't just made a decision with a snap of your fingers. You've given it a lot of careful consideration before you've come to your final decision. So always look at the Judgment card with that sort of respect. Now, it's a really interesting week astrologically. Yes, we've got a big week ahead of us. You know, as always, we're coming to the tail end of the Aquarian time. So let's enjoy this last few days of being in the Aquarian sunshine, so to speak, where we have that ability to think outside the square. We have that ability to dare to be different, to sort of say, hang on a minute, this doesn't suit me. Have you thought about it from maybe a different perspective, from a different way of looking at things? And looking at things in a very different perspective is really important at the moment. No matter what your star sign is, I want to see you sort of come out of your comfort zone a little bit and sort of look at things maybe from a different perspective, or think outside the square, or look at it from someone else's perspective. And you may just find some very interesting and very exciting answers there, answers that you wouldn't have necessarily gravitated to, or directions you wouldn't have necessarily taken. And you sort of think, wow, I'm glad I thought of that. Gee, that's really interesting. I can really put that in my arsenal now. I can put that into future decision making because I've dared to sort of step out of my little comfort zone. And I think that's really important. So happy birthday again to all the Aquarians. It's a really magical time of the year. It is your time to strut your stuff and enjoy who you are, and just, you know, enjoy the moment, because, you know, your birthday only comes once a year, and, you know, your birthday month or your astrological month only comes once a year, and you should bask in that glory. So, you know, what I was talking about there goes for all the 12 signs, not just Aquarians. Now, we have Mars, the planet of action, is sitting in Aquarius at the moment. This will predominantly affect, obviously, Aquarians, Libras, Gemini, and the opposite sign of Leo. So it's asking you to get up off the couch. Let's get some momentum happening. Let's get some things happening in life now, because it's time to sort of start to take action. It will wash over the other remaining 8 signs, but not be quite as pronounced. It's sort of like that little nudge from behind for the remaining 8 signs that are staying, come on, let's step out of your comfort zone. It's time to get some action. It's time to get things happening. It's time to get moving again, because it's really, really important that you start moving and start moving forward. So we're now going to move on. You know, that's where we're going to leave the Aquarian energy. Yes, Pluto's still sitting in Aquarius, and I could be talking about Pluto every week for the next 20 odd years. So we'll leave Pluto where it is. And I'm sure if you want to know a little bit more about Pluto, go back to one of the previous shows. We're now looking at the focus that's moved into Pisces. Now we've got Venus, the planet of love and affection, is sitting in Pisces at the moment. So predominantly affecting Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and the opposite sign of Virgo, but washing over the remaining 8 signs. So if you're looking for love, we need to be looking in a sort of a Piscean sort of way. So Pisces represents anything creative, whether it's the movies, music, concerts, anything artistic. It's that sort of beautiful, sort of gentle, sort of creative sort of energy. And Venus really leans itself towards that. It feels very comfortable in that sort of energy. So if you're looking to attract love, then maybe you've got to go to places where there's lots of people. You know, go to an art gallery, go to an art show, go to a creative show. You know, some people sort of say, look, I go to Comic-Con, which is a comic show here in Australia, and they say that's very creative. It's whatever you see as being creative. It doesn't necessarily always have to be paintings and music. It's whatever you see as a form of creativity. And there's many different forms of creativity, but, you know, there's no point in going to motor mechanics shop and class if you think that, if you might think that's very creative, and that's great, but you're only going to meet people that are like-minded, that are attracted to that. And if that's something that's your passion, that's great, but you need to go to places where you feel comfortable and you're going to meet like-minded souls, because everybody's searching for love, and not just at this time of the year when it's been Valentine's Day, but we all go through life looking for the person to spend the rest of our lives with, or person that wants to be important in our lives, and we don't feel complete if we don't have that. So it's always important to have somebody that complements you, somebody that understands you, somebody that gets you, but somebody that has similar interests to you, so you've got something in common. I know they say opposites attract, and they do to a certain point, but it's very difficult for opposites to attract and stay in a serious committed relationship long-term wise, because they have literally nothing in common, or most times they don't. So you've got to have things in common. Yes, you can be very different personalities. One can be very extroverted and one very introverted, but you have similar goals. You have similar things that you believe in or you're interested in, and that's what keeps the union together. So there's many different facets to what makes a good relationship work. I think the key is communication, communication, communication. If you can communicate and be each other's best friends, I think you're halfway there to making a successful relationship go the distance. If you can't communicate, what have you got? You've got literally nothing. Communication makes the world go round, and it's really important. Now, talking about communication, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, is sitting in Pisces at the moment too. So, Mercury here feels quite comfortable, because Mercury is sort of looking at getting everybody to sort of look at things in a gentler sort of way, sort of saying, well, where's your creative hat? What's creative about this? What's soft and gentle? What can we do to sort of look at things through a different sort of lens? Not everything's got to be hard and fast and, 99 mile an hour. We can slow down a little bit and smell the roses, smell the coffee, enjoy being in the moment. And, sometimes that's all Mercury wants to do, is to slow down and enjoy the moment and absorb the knowledge and the information and what's going on around you, because a lot of things in life are made up from what we absorb that's going on around us, to how our moods are, whether we get enough sleep, whether we're happy with our work and everything. It's all on the energy that we're sitting in and we're surrounded by on a daily basis. So with Mercury here, it's asking you to sort of slow down a little bit, smell the coffee, enjoy the time, enjoy being with people, like-minded souls. So again, we're predominantly talking about the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and the opposite sign of Virgo, but this is washing over the remaining 8 signs. Now, where things start to get interesting now, we've been talking about for quite some time about Neptune and Saturn changing out of Pisces, where they've been for quite some time, and moving into Aries. Now, this week, we actually have both of them have moved into Aries, which is really quite a step forward. So let's take it gently and let's understand what this means. It's a huge major shift for everybody to understand, and it will affect each and every one of us, but predominantly it's going to affect the fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and the opposite sign of Libra. Saturn is the planet of discipline, the father figure, somebody that gives us structure and purpose and determination in our lives. So with Saturn moving into Aries, it's going to seem like a really urgent sort of feeling, like I've got to get everything sorted out yesterday. I've got to do it now. It's like a very much a me first sort of energy. Have I told you about this is what I need to do? This is what I need to achieve. Please get out of my road. I've got so much to do. I've got to get it done. It's an urgent sort of feeling. And just to be aware, people might be a little bit abrasive. They're not meaning to be, if they're sort of saying, please get out of my road, I've got too much to do. They're not meaning that they don't like you or don't value you. They're trying to share with you in the fastest, quickest way, I have a lot to do and I only have a short space in time to do it. Let me achieve that, and then we can sit down and have that conversation, or then we can go to the movies or do whatever it is you want to do, but I need to achieve this first. So it might seem in a way that they're a little bit abrasive, a little bit self-absorbed, and they probably are all of those things. But it's important to them to achieve these things before they can move on to the next project. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment here for Saturn, because Saturn doesn't necessarily like to be rude. Saturn likes to take things in his own sweet time. And Aries likes to get everything done yesterday. So it's going to be a little bit of a tug of war of energy there while they sort of both get comfortable with each other, get to know each other's idiosyncrasies, for want of a better word, and learn to work together. So it's going to take a little bit of time for things to sort of bed in. Now, Saturn is actually conjunct or holding hands Neptune. Now, Neptune's the planet of illusion and delusion and creativity, and sort of where we get the sort of nicer side of life, the gentler side of life, I suppose, in a sense, but it also comes with great determination. So with Neptune here in Aries, it's going to be a very interesting situation because Neptune's going to want to go off in a little bit of a fog and be a little bit mysterious and not so much deceptive, but mysterious, hold things pretty close to their chest, where the Aries energy is me first, get out of my road, I've got things to do, I need to do it now, and it's sort of like it's fast. You just go one speed. There's only two speeds, fast and stop, and nothing in between, where Neptune's sort of trying to get you to calm down a little bit, take it a little bit slower, let's be a little bit more thorough, let's gain something more out of this. So it's going to be an interesting tug of war here over the next few months as we see these two planets work together, or hopefully work together, and with the Aries energy, which is very, very different for both of them, and really difficult for them to understand and sort of try and cement together and get some sort of stability factor out of this, because we're looking for stability, we're looking for progress, we're looking for depth, we're looking for, new projects to sort of start and get off the ground, which is going to be great, but we're also looking for it in a very creative, positive sort of way. But Aries is saying, come on, I haven't got all this time, I haven't got time to waste on this sort of, why do we need such details? We've got the outline, let's go, we'll make it up as we go along. And both of these planets don't like to work that way. So it's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be sort of, feeling like you're running out of time and getting urgent. And, for a lot of the fire signs, they may find that they're going to feel a little bit stressed or have a stress headache or feel the tension in their body. My suggestion there is relax. Listen to what your body's saying. If it's tired, rest. If you got a headache, take a pain pill. Have a rest. Don't sort of keep pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion. That's not the answer here. It's about listening and working with the energy and working with it the best that you possibly can. So these two planets are actually conjunct or holding hands, what's known as one of the Arabian parts, which is the part of fortune. Now, this is not for where we look for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow with the leprechaun, but it's showing us where we can really shine. So this, again, washes over the remaining 8 signs, but predominantly it's for the fire signs, the first 4 signs that I spoke about. There's golden opportunities there if you really want to apply yourself, but you've got to pace yourself. That's the secret. Apply and pace. Apply and pace. Don't sort of take one out of context to the other, because otherwise you won't be as successful as you can be. So we're going to talk with Candice in Salot in St. Marie, Ontario, and I'm sure I've probably got that wrong. Candice, so are you there? Question.
Hi, yes. Well, I've been in a real change in 2026. I was just wondering, my daughter's still stuck kind of there. It was a relationship, and I got out. So kind of just worried about my daughter and if I'm on the right track.
Okay, so how old's your daughter, sweetie?
17.
17, and she's still in when you say she's still in the relationship?
She's still with my ex-partner.
Right, okay. Right. I was just to be clear on what I'm tuning into. Okay, so do you mind sharing with me your daughter's first initial, please, sweetie?
Yep, it's Abigail, A.
Okay, no, that's fine. So A for Abigail. So look, I really think she's quite a grown-up 17-year-old. The energy that she's sharing with me is that she knows what she's doing. Well, she thinks she knows what she's doing. And look, that's all well and fine. I don't feel she has the same, well, obviously she doesn't have the same relationship with your ex-partner that you had, but she doesn't seem to have the same animosity or reservation about how they're going to move forward as far as, cohabitating in a property together, they seem to get on okay. It's you and your ex-partner that seem to have most of the friction. So as far as your daughter's concerned, I think she's quite happy and she's quite stable and quite settled where she is. She doesn't want to move. She doesn't want to come out of that, what she sees as a safe environment, even though she understands your reservations and that you're not happy about it. You know, she will leave in time, but I don't think it's going to be in the short term. I'm looking at the later half of this year, and that will be more because she's going on to something, you know, like going on to a job or going on to some study, or, you know, there's a reason for it. It's not because the two of them have had an argument or anything like that. It's interesting because he seems very protective of your daughter, as if she's like his own flesh and blood. And look, that's a nice thing, but he never really understood your relationship with your daughter, and I find that peculiar.
Right. So,
you know, it's sort of like
he was quite...
Go on, sweetie.
Pardon?
I said, go on, sweetie.
Yeah, no, he is, he's a 50-year-old man. I was with him for a year and a half, and he's a narcissist. So, yeah, like how it all came about, like, honestly, you could see it in the cards how he treated me. I treated him very good. So I don't know, you know, I don't understand it all either.
No, it makes no sense to me. It's almost like I'm looking at two different men. You know, the one that was with you as your partner, and the way that he treated you was certainly not acceptable. And yet I look at him with your daughter, and he's a totally different sort of man. You know, he's very protective of her. He's very kind to her, you know, and I mean, obviously she feels the same rapport there. And it's like we've cut him in two. You know, the person that should have been nice to you was an absolute a-hole, and over here he's an angel. You know, and that goes with the narcissistic energy too sometimes. So look, I wouldn't be too worried about your daughter. She's fine. She knows how to protect herself, and she will leave, but it won't be through an argument. She'll go because there's better opportunities coming up for her. As far as you're concerned, look, I think you've still got a lot of healing to do, obviously, but I also feel that it's time now that you forgive yourself and sort of say, I went into this with love. I didn't go into it because I was blinded by, you know, his charm or something like that. You knew what you were getting into, but you didn't know to the degree of how nasty he could be. So I want you to sort of forgive yourself now and say, well, look, I went into this with love. I didn't go into it blinded by love. I went into it with an open heart, and this is what I got. So, you know, so that you can start to heal and start to move on. Look, I think before the end of this year, you're going to meet somebody that, you know, and you might say to me, it's too soon at the moment, I'm not ready, but you're going to meet somebody that is going to make your heart sing, that's going to reinstate your faith in love, and, you know, that there is some decent people in the world. It was part of something that was meant to happen for you. I don't think you could have changed it. Whether it was with him or somebody else, you had to learn that lesson. It was part of the journey that you came here on earth to learn, unfortunately, Candace. And, you know, sometimes we need to sort of just go with the flow and acknowledge that, and not be too tough on ourselves, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does, completely, 100%.
Yeah, and, you know, look, you know, some things we can't stop, we can't prevent. I believe we come into this lifetime with a certain amount of karmic lessons we have to complete. And if we don't complete them, say we come in with 10 and we only do 7, well, those 3 get transferred to our next life, plus what we have to do in the next life. So this was one of those lessons. And that's why I said, whether it came with his name or Fred or Bob or John, it wouldn't have mattered. You still had the same lesson to learn. Luckily for you, and I'm saying luckily, you learnt your lesson and you worked through the process very quickly. It could have gone on for years. You know, many years. So, you know, you got out of there in a very short space of time. Your daughter's going to come out of this unscathed. Look, I mean, I don't know that after she leaves there that she's going to continue a friendship with him for very long. I think that will disappear and fade into the never. But when she first leaves, she believes she's going to, and that's okay. Just listen and smile, and don't sort of say too much, because the more you say to her against him, the more she's going to go towards him, because she doesn't see the side that you know. And we don't want her to sort of get angry with you because she thinks you're being unfair. You know, just smile and say, oh, well, that's your interpretation, or, you know, you're feeling, that's fine. I have a different opinion, and leave it at that. And, she will learn to respect that as she becomes more mature. But I know that your whole world is about to unfold, and it's going to blossom in a very, very positive way. And, you've learned a lot from this, but you've also learnt now, I think, to listen to your own little voice, haven't you? The voice inside you that says, hang on a minute, this is not right. Where you questioned that before, you were unsure about that. Now you're very sure. You know the signs that if you start to feel uncomfortable with something, you look at it and say, hang on a minute, why am I feeling uncomfortable? Sometimes it's just, it's triggering something from the past, but if it continues to gnaw at you and annoy you, then you know that it's something that's got to be addressed. But I know that you've jumped through some very big hoops in this last 2 years, but you've done it successfully. So, you really need to pat yourself on the back and say, a job well done. This could have gone on for 10 years and it didn't. So that's the bonus. That's the blessing.
Oh, you are a blessing. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sweetie, but you're going into much, much better times. So, look at that and understand that, sometimes there's things that we can't prevent because we're meant to experience. So that's where I've got to leave it, sweetie. I hope that's helped you. And I know you've got so many wonderful things coming ahead. So we're going to talk with Carol now in Cedar Lake in Indiana. Are you there, Carol?
Hi. How are you?
Hi, Carol. I'm very well, thank you, sweetie. Do you have a question for me I can answer?
Are you? Do you?
Why you phoned into the show? You must want something answered.
Intuition. Okay. You don't do this astrology or just your intuition?
Yeah, because astrology, I can answer something if you want to give me a star sign and if it pertains to a particular area. But if you've got a decision or something that you're troubled about, then they'll give me the information from the other side. And if they want it on an astrological flavour, that's the way they'll present it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I just wanted to know how you work. My little problem in my life, I have a 20-year-old who is dragging his feet on getting his license. I'm driving him to work and back on my break. We both work at the same business. He's 20. He's, he doesn't have much of a father figure, so I have to be the enforcer. And every time I put my foot down and say, hey, he's got a learner's permit. I'm like, get behind the wheel. Well, he won't. And so, he's dragging his. I think to make a long story short, my son is very smart and he has a lot of capabilities and a lot of gifts, but he doesn't give himself credit and he's a little insecure about driving. And I was just wondering if he's going to get over this. That's only real problem I have.
Okay. Can you share with me his first initial, please?
B. His nickname, not his official initial would be W.
No, we'll go with his nickname because that's the energy that he's sort of.
Do you want to hear? Do you want just initial or do you want his name?
Yeah, just his initial's fine because that enables me to tune into itself. It's really interesting because he's absolutely terrified of getting a license. That's what the problem is. He wants it. He knows he needs it, but it's sort of like he gets to a point and it's like he's frozen in fear. It's like, oh my God, it's like. But one of the rare times that a young person sees it as a lethal weapon. Your son sees a car as a lethal weapon, which most of them don't. They see it as, they're indestructible and they can do anything. Look, I think he will overcome this. Look, I appreciate the fact that, you needing to be mother, father, auntie, uncle and everybody all rolled into one, trying to sort of push him and motivate him to sort of take more responsibility for his life. Some young men don't necessarily do it as quickly as what we'd like to see. Your son's one of those. He's what I call a late bloomer. But look, when he does
he's very cautious.
Yes, he's very cautious. But once he overcomes that, there'll be no stopping him. I feel in this next 12 to 15 months, it's going to be sort of almost you're ready to tear your hair out and sort of ready to sort of almost commit hurry-curry. And then all of a sudden he turns around and he comes home and he waves this thing in front of you and says, look, Mum, look what I've got.
Oh, good.
And you think, what are you doing? And it's his driver's license. He hasn't told you he's done the test. He's had his lessons, and he comes home as proud as punch to tell you he's got it. And I think the reasons why he's not going to tell you is he's fearful he's going to fail. And if he fails, then, he thinks you're going to sort of say, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? So he does it on his own, and he does it in his own time. And it's going to take him probably 3 months to achieve it, but he'll take some secret driving lessons with a driving school and get his license, and that's when he's going to do the proudest punch and wave to you that he's got it, and that will be the start of him taking the reins to the rest of his life. It's sort of like that's the confidence boost that he needs. He's going to actually go back and do some more study, that's work-related after this happens. This boy's very bright. He just needs to do it in his own time. And, like where somebody else might have done it at 16, he might take till he's 22 to do it. There's no bus timetable. He's a very intuitive, very kind, decent young man. You should be very proud of the young man that you've raised.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
He'll do you a good turn before a bad turn. And that's really important. And it's just that part of it is it's a fear of he doesn't want to grow up. He doesn't want to take responsibility because he knows once he starts.
When he was little,
he can't go back.
I remember when he was 5 or 6, he'd be like, Mom, I don't want to grow up. Do I have to? He was, one of those toddlers in tears. I don't want to be an adult. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what he's carried on, and that's what I mean. He's got to be the one.
And I'm spoiling him a little and enabling him. I'm being the chauffeur and everything. He's my pride and joy, and I got my boss teasing me. Hey, how long are you going to drive your son around? I'm like, mind your own business.
Exactly. But just know everything's going to work out. That's where we've got to leave it, Carol. We've come to the end of the show, but just continue to be proud of him. He's a lovely young man and he's going to really shine. So that's where we're going to leave Carol. So it's always interesting when we're dealing with children and, every child develops at a different stage and a different age. And boys sometimes are a little bit later bloomers than girls because, they don't necessarily want to take responsibility. They know what that's going to be, becoming a man, and that's okay. And, we have to work with those sort of energies. So this week I'm going to leave you with a very old song, and it's certainly not hip hop as my producer would like, and it's certainly not, noisy heavy metal or anything like that, but it's a very beautiful old song from an English group, and it's called Bus Stop by the Hollies. And I just think it's one of those timeless sort of songs that, it talks about love and it talks about young love and people sort of, getting their confidence about, taking steps in life, to be able to become grown-ups. And, here he sees this girl at the bus stop every day and he daydreams about her and hopes one day she'll be his bride. So what a beautiful song. So until next week, enjoy your week, and if you're happy to be catching a bus, look out for young people and the sort of the love sparks that fly between them, whether it's on a bus or a train or a tram or a rail car or whatever the case may be. Love blossoms in many different beautiful ways, and you don't always have to be young for love to blossom. It can happen at any age. So until next week, bye for now.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watch watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Energy Intuition Transformation with Sue Williams. Live from holistic-health.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Energy Intuition Transformation on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this week's episode of Energy Intuition Transformation. I'm Sue Williams, the Spirit Psychic, and it's such a pleasure to have you here with me. Once again, I hope you are following my journey here. So this week, now I felt a gentle but powerful message wanting to come through, one that arrives not from complex spiritual teachings, but from the quiet wisdom of our animal companions. And it was during a time earlier today that I was doing some animal psychic work with some other beautiful souls. And I got the calling to share that information with you beautiful people today. So right now, many people across the world are feeling uncertain. There's an upheaval in different parts of the globe. There is doubt about the future. There is emotional heaviness that can sometimes feel hard to shift. And when the collective energy becomes unsettled, it's easy for us to absorb that unease into our own lives, into our thoughts, our bodies, and our hearts. But the animal kingdom offers us another way, a simpler frequency, a steadier rhythm. Today's show is about reconnecting with that frequency, the frequency of peace and love, and allowing the animals to guide us back to emotional balance, clarity, and trust. Now, this week, the whole show is based on this beautiful oracle card, which the deck I was using earlier today. And the deck, I'll show you, this so amazing. Messages from your animals. And this was created by a very good friend of mine who is also an animal communicator. And her name is Dagmar Klingenbog. And the card that I have drawn, it really made me want to create this show today, is peace and love. And the message reads, get infected by your animal's happiness and their good intentions. Try and bring that a bit closer because the image is so beautiful. And it is, what a beautiful phrase, get infected by your animal's happiness. Animals live in a natural state of presence. They don't hold on to yesterday's worries. They don't project fear into tomorrow. They don't plan ahead with that sort of thing. But they meet each moment as it arrives with openness and sincerity. Even animals who have experienced difficulty in their lives, they often return to trust more easily than humans do. Their default state is love. Their natural language is peace. And this card, this beautiful card from Dagmar's deck, it reminds us that animals are not just companions. They are energetic teachers. They show us how to return to emotional balance, even when the world around us feels uncertain. And I know I'm feeling it, and I'm wondering if you do too, because at the moment, many sensitive souls are feeling the pressure of global change. You may have noticed unusual emotional ups and downs that don't always feel personal to you. And maybe a sense of restlessness or concern, a desire to withdraw and regroup, or simply a feeling that the world is shifting in ways that we can't fully predict, and that can be scary. So when collective energy is unsettled, empaths and intuitives often absorb more than they realise. You may be carrying feelings that aren't entirely your own. And this is where the message of peace and love becomes so important. Animals don't absorb the world's chaos in the same way we do. Well, they're not on Facebook and Instagram for a start. And because of that, they remain anchored in the present moment. And when we consciously tune into them, they help us to bring back our balance, the balance in our lives. Their nervous systems are regulated by nature, and their awareness is grounded. Their emotional state is honest and immediate. They don't pretend, they don't catastrophize, they simply are. And when we allow ourselves to meet them in that state of being, something inside of us begins to soften. So as we do every show, here is a meditation which is all about receiving peace from the animal kingdom. And let's take a few minutes to reconnect with that peaceful frequency. And remember, please do not listen to this meditation while driving or operating machinery. If you need your full concentration at this time, please listen with your eyes open and return to experience this meditation with the replay. So, if you're somewhere safe and comfortable, gently close your eyes if it is safe to do so. Begin by taking a slow breath in and release it really slowly and softly. And as you do this, allow your shoulders to relax. Let your mind begin to settle. Now, imagine yourself standing in a peaceful, natural setting. Perhaps a meadow, a forest, or a quiet shoreline. The air is calm. The earth beneath you feels steady and supportive. In the distance, an animal of your choosing begins to approach. It may be your own animal companion, an animal you once loved, or simply a gentle presence from the animal kingdom. Notice how this animal moves. Notice their calm, their trust, their natural contentment in simply being alive. They come closer now and stand beside you. Feel the peaceful energy they carry. It radiates outward like a soft light. And with each breath, allow yourself to receive that light. Let it move into your chest, your shoulders, and your whole body. This is the frequency of peace. And this is the frequency of unconditional goodwill. And now silently say to yourself, I allow myself to be infected by peace and love. And stay here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, gently return to the room. Open your eyes if they are closed, carrying with you that calm and peace. So, with that in mind, what do animals teach us about peace? Our animals teach us many things, often without words. They teach us how to rest without feeling guilty, how to greet each day with curiosity and get the most out of the day, how to forgive quickly, and how to love without conditions, and also how to trust the rhythm of life. And when an animal feels safe and loved, their natural state is joy. Even simple things, sunlight, a walk, a gentle touch. That's what brings them genuine happiness. And this week's message encourages all of us to let that happiness become contagious, to spend time observing our animals, to slow down enough just to meet them in their world, to let their calm regulate our own nervous system. And even if you don't currently share your life with an animal, you can still connect with animal spirit. You can do that by watching birds, noticing wildlife, or even visualizing an animal presence that you can shift your energy to in profound ways, in that two-way street, energy being exchanged. Now, how about using peace as a practice? Because peace isn't something we wait for the world to give us. It's something we cultivate within ourselves. In times of global uncertainty, choosing peace becomes a powerful spiritual act. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, because it's always there, or pretending that everything is perfect, because it's not. It means grounding yourself so that you don't become overwhelmed by what you can't control. And you can ask yourself, what energy am I carrying that isn't mine? What have I seen on Facebook or Instagram that I've really carried within me ever since? And where in my body can I soften today? How can I bring more gentleness into my own environment? And sometimes the answer is simply to sit quietly with your animal or with the memory of one and gently breathe together. And I'd like you to know that this message of peace and emotional balance often arises in my Spirit Talk sessions, Spirit Talk journey sessions, in fact, especially when working with animals and their humans. Animals frequently communicate that their role is not just companionship, but energetic support. They help regulate our emotions because their soothing presence can allow us to release tension. They mirror our state of being. And when we begin to understand what our animals are feeling and sharing energetically, a deeper bond forms. So it's a win-win. And that bond is based on mutual healing and trust. And if you feel called to explore this connection further, you're warmly invited to learn more about Spirit Talk journeys and my other modalities, including holistic animal wellness, where I use energy work, body work, if I can be there in person with your animal, and just a general sense of allowing the animal to heal themselves. And these sessions, you can book them or find out more through my website, holistic-health.au. And of course, there are so many other of my holistic modalities on that website. Go there, have a look. There could be something that's exactly what you're looking for at this time. And along with the animals, I will be able to help you with finding your own sense of love and peace. And there's a contact form on that website if you feel guided to connect and reach out to me. I'd love to have a chat. So, peace, love, two simple words, two powerful frequencies. And this week, just allow yourself to be gently influenced by the steady, loving presence of the animals around you. Take time to look out the window, see the birds and the other native animals that are out there, and sense their own sense of peace and love. And whether they are physically with you or present in spirit, your pets from the past who have passed over. Just let their happiness remind you that joy still exists in this crazy world of ours. So thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Energy Intuition Transformation. Until next time, as always, have a blessed week. Please stay gentle, stay grounded, and allow yourself to be lovingly infected by peace and love. Bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Soul Seed, divine guidance and spiritual mediumship with Lisa Thurgate Marks. Lisa Thurgate Marks. Live from LisaThurgateMarks.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Soul Seed, divine guidance and spiritual mediumship on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, Lisa T here, coming live from Mermaid Waters off the back of the Fire Force Energy Eclipse Doorway. How exciting for us all. What I would like to let you all remember in this time is how many different breeds of horses are there? And when you are listening to what's going on with this fire energy, the horse energy, the 1 year, remember we have the beautiful old grand horses. We have to look at how they go nice and slowly and trot along right down to a little Shetland pony. We have stallions, we have mares, and that goes for all of you. I think just because it's the start of the year, we're in the Chinese New Year of the horse, I feel that some people, what I'm seeing is they feel that they just need the fire, which is the creativity, that they're galloping forward. That is not necessarily true for yourself. It's everything revolves around where your planets fit with you, your personality, your circumstances, what you're working through. Horses, they're very intuitive. Follow your intuition, listen to the whispers of your soul, your gut energy. This is about you. It's your race. It's like every horse race that you see. They don't run for everybody else. They're not doing the same as everybody else. This year, run your race your way. You do yourself. Don't keep up with everybody else. Please remember that. I've got a beautiful caller coming through. I love doing my readings. It's not what I love to do more than everything. How are you today, Helen?
Okay, how are you?
Good. And you're from Buffalo?
Oh, yes, from Buffalo, New York.
Lovely to talk to you today. Were you feeling the energy coming up with the start of the new year with the horse, and actually the start of another 28 years in the solar system as well? How are you going with all the energy?
Oh, I'm trying to make it back and everything.
You good? Would you like a personal reading? Do you have a question for me? Are you there, Helen? Hello? I think we've lost contact with Helen. We're getting her back. I'm actually feeling into her energy at the moment, and when I feel into her, are you there, Helen? I feel that there is a real kickstart for you. Are you there? No? Okay, I'm going to go back to talking about the year of the horse and about running your own race. Because, you know, even like today, everything happens for a reason. Maybe it wasn't Helen's turn to have a reading, or there might be something just come up. She's coming back. She's there. Here we go. She's apparently coming back. You there, Helen?
Oh, yeah, well, I got to fix now. We're okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, hello again. So, Helen, do you have a question for me today, please?
Well, can I get a reading instead? Maybe draw a card for me?
What reading? Sorry, hard to hear.
Or if you feel drawn to tell me something?
Yeah, I can tell you something. So general reading, very, very good. And the spirit's playing around with you up there. It's very good because I feel that sometimes spirit, when they do this, it's like they're trying to tell you to listen to your own intuition and feel into yourself as well. I'm actually getting quite a few people coming around, and I get the word dumping their issues onto you, but it's time for you to pull back and just think about number one now, Helen. It's about you running your own race. Oh. Children coming around you. I don't know what they're doing here. I keep looking, and it's not so much an energy draining, but I feel that you're doing so much for other people, Helen. This is time for you in your life to start to stand up for yourself, because you're quite empathetic, where you're drawing in a lot of energy from other people to the fact that it is exactly exhausting you. So even though you might come across as quite lovely and bubbly, you actually have that on that air of exhaustion. So be mindful about where you're putting your energy at this particular time, okay? Because Spirit's coming through, saying it to me quite quickly. Do you have a sister?
Yes, I have a sister. I have a couple sisters.
Yep. Someone up here in Spirit's waving down at you, but they're actually waving at your sister as well. So whether it's a family member, it's a female, she keeps looking. Is one sister of yours a lot closer to you than the other?
Yes.
There's something about the sister. And I feel that whether you're going somewhere or you're doing something with that sister, let her make her own decisions and you make yours. We don't want the clash of the titans here. You're both very strong-willed, aren't you? So,
yes.
Watch that you don't try to persuade each other to do things that you don't really want to do. And it's coming through quite strongly. Has your mum or your grandma, I think it's your mum also, the energy that I'm getting around here?
Oh, yeah, my mum's in spirit, yes.
I feel she just there's needs to be, she's quite, has needed to separate you girls quite a lot over the years. And it's good because it's actually
we've been separated.
Sorry?
You said that she said we've been separated.
Yeah, separated. Like for your personalities are quite strong. She's had to get used to pull apart sometimes. When I say separate, I don't mean separate from the family. It's like you allowed your own opinion because you're very headstrong. She's pulling you apart. So when I'm reading the energy, the sisters, it's like you actually still have to be your own person. You have to put yourself first. Don't try and please your other sister. Does that make sense? Because your energy's like this.
Yes. Yes.
Because
the one sister I'm real close with, the other one we're not close.
Yeah, and everyone has free will, and that's what you need to understand now. So when we get that separation and pulling apart, she needs to stand on her own 2 feet, and your mum has always encouraged this. Whether your mum's alive or passed, it doesn't matter because I'm reading the energy of your mum. Your mum's actually got a beautiful energy that I feel here. She keeps coming back around. So who gets a heart palpitations?
Do I get heart palpitations?
Sorry?
What did you say? Did I get heart palpitations?
Yeah, I said who gets the heart palpitations because my heart's going quite quickly here now. It's about looking after.
I get that.
You get that, do you? Because it's about looking after, keep coming back to yourself. Remember before I was saying you're doing too much for other people and you're people pleasing all the time, too over concerned with what's going on with everybody else. Really come back and really ground, even get outside, take your shoes off, lie on the grass if you can. Start to regulate your system and put yourself first, and you will find it will subside. Is there a brother for you as well?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a brother. I have two brothers.
Yeah, she's showing me the brother. Your mum must be really trying to bring you guys all together. So maybe if you guys can actually have not so much a meeting or a celebration or something all together, it will make her very happy, because I don't feel it's happening enough. So if you can be even the instigator of that. Sorry?
Okay. Okay, and you said the one sister that you see us going somewhere together, like on a trip or something?
Yep. And I like that. But when you do, you've got to, both of you actually have to be able to take turns in choosing where you go. Like, you've got to respect the opinion of the other one. Otherwise, there'll be some clashes. Are you planning a trip already?
That's nice. Well, we've been thinking about going somewhere, yeah, but I don't know if we'll ever get there.
Yep, no, you'll get there, because I can see it, and it's like, but I want to go here. No, I want to go there. So it's like you can pick one, and I can pick one, but I don't think that. Yeah, you both have very different likes there. So choose wisely, one each. Okay, that's what I'm getting.
Okay, and
is there any questions that
how
you'd
long
like
before
to ask her?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
how long before you see us taking the trip?
Oh, I don't think it's far away. So within this first 6 months, I think it's coming up quite soon. I just feel that you'll just go, no, we're going to do this. And I just feel that you actually have to do it, because you need to have more fun in your life, because you're quite I'm not saying you're stale, but you're looking for something. You need to do more than just work. It's like you just do the same thing day in, day out, where it's time for you to get the adrenaline moving and move your body, actually have fun.
I need to live. I need to live. That's what I need to do.
You do. Yep, you need to live. And they're showing me, so it'll be fun, and keep that energy moving. I feel it's going to be very good for you, even to organise like a celebration with the family. Get together, whether it's camping or in a club. You just need to do something together. The energy through you, keep going, enjoy your holiday, because it's not as if you're going very far very often. Sorry?
Oh, did you say you see me moving from my house, or?
I just get a lot of movement around you, so you could possibly move from your house. You might like where you're going too. So just be mindful of that, because you need to move your body. There's a lot of movement for you as well. So there's movement everywhere for you. You being number one is what we're seeing around this reading. Thank you so much. Don't absorb everybody else's energy. Stand up for you. Make yourself and your life the priority. Send yourself an abundance of love. Keep dragging it in, putting it out there, that you will actually come to live exactly where you'd like to be, where your soul feels rested. Needs to feel rested, not exhausted. I think you'll understand that. So the infinite love that you just need to keep sending in, bring it down, and give back all the negative energy to the source of where it came from.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Your Beautiful Life with Jenna Lee. Live from Facebook.com/group/JennaLees.crystal.shop. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Your Beautiful Life on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Your Beautiful Life with Jenna Lee. I am Jenna Lee. I'm so grateful to be here today. Welcome to the Lunar New Year. It is officially 2026. So all the old energy of 2025 is done. All the new energy of 2026 is finally here. I apologize for what's going on over here behind my head, but I'm sitting by my couch. So, hey, so you know what? Just to kind of go into this Lunar New Year, if you had a crappy last year, if it, caused you a lot of like trauma or drama or a lot of hardships to the point your nervous system was just fried and you were exhausted and you were in fight or flight all the time, a lot more downs and ups, you more than likely just had what we call a shed, because last year was the year of the snake. Snakes have to shed their old skin so new things can come in. So you probably just went through a shed. The year of the fire horse, which we just entered as of Tuesday, is going to be a better year for you. It's going to lift you up after that massive shed. So please, please, please do yourself a favor. Set your goals, set your intentions, set, your intentions for how you want to feel every single day. Okay. I've been doing a lot of inner healing the last 7 weeks. It's been really great. And so what I wanted to communicate about tonight is, what started my career. I have been able to see since I was about 3 years old. So seeing spirits and communicating with spirits is nothing new to me. But I really started my career almost 12 years ago by doing past life regression hypnosis. I knew I wanted to do hypnosis so that I could do past life regression hypnosis. And today I just kind of wanted to talk about hypnosis and how much of a difference it's made. Right now, I do a lot of self-hypnosis, or I record it and listen to myself doing it. I always go into hypnosis because it is the fastest way to get into the subconscious mind to heal anything, to release anything, to set goals, to come up. Think about it being your cell phone, right? We can install apps that we want, that we like. We can uninstall apps that we no longer use, that we dislike, right? Think about the habits, the emotions, the beliefs, the experiences in your brain. Hypnosis allows us to go in there and install new apps, new thoughts, new beliefs, new things to be motivated about. And it also allows us to uninstall habits, beliefs, old experiences that we're still holding on to. And that is why I chose to do hypnosis. We could get into the brain very quickly. Now, some of the things over the last 12 years of doing hypnosis that I have seen, the misconceptions. I want to touch on this misconceptions before I take this caller. But the top three things that I have heard as misconceptions for hypnosis are, number one, people assume they're going to be asleep. They assume they're not going to remember anything. They assume that they're just going to be out of it. Okay, it's absolutely false for healing hypnosis. There are 3 levels of hypnosis: alpha, theta, delta. So it's like awake and aware, deeper down, awake and aware, deeper down. Think about driving your vehicle from point A to point B, and you're thinking about your life so deeply that when you come out of it, you're like, oh, did I stop at that stop sign back there? Did I stop at that stoplight? Where were my eyes at the entire time, right? So that is the second level of hypnosis. We've all experienced something similar to that. And so it's just natural. Awake and aware, deeper down, awake and aware, deeper down. The very last level of hypnosis, that delta, is the sleep-like level, right? People will talk to me, they'll do things in that level. They don't remember anything. 95% of my clients stay in alpha theta. Delta is very hard to get into, so that's a misconception. The second biggest misconception is I can make you do things that you don't want to do. That is stage hypnosis. That is completely different than healing hypnosis. I cannot make you say or do anything that you do not want to do. Your subconscious mind will always protect you. So if I were to ask you a secret and you didn't want to tell me, you would either just ignore me or you would wake up. Okay. There's nothing I can do, to you or make you say to me that you don't want to. Your subconscious mind always protects you. So those are the top two. Oh, the other one I hear all the time now, this is an old timer saying this came from like our grandparents or great grandparents, and a lot of man-made religion. They believe that under hypnosis, I can take your free will. I promise you, I cannot take your free will. In fact, you're in a heightened state of awareness so that we can focus on those changes that you want to make rather than being knocked out and me just in control of you. So those are the top 3 misconceptions I've heard over the last 12 years of doing hypnosis. I do have a caller from Australia. Will you pop that back up again for me, Dave? Oh, Karen. Okay, from Southwest Australia.
Hello.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing great. How can I help you today?
I was just wondering a couple of questions on if you see us moving and buying a house soon, and anything maybe for my brother in heaven.
Okay, so let's go into the house first, okay? Karen, please do me a favor and give me your birth date so I can tune into your energy.
Yep, 1st of 8th, 1963.
Okay, tell me one more time, please. Your phone kind of cut up for me.
Oh, sorry. The 1st of the 8th, 1963.
Oh, gosh, you think a lot. You got a lot going on in your brain. How fast are you wanting to move? That's going to be the question.
Sooner than later.
Mhm. It does look like there's some blockages in the way of that.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. I'm just trying to see what it is. Are you fearful in any way about moving? Is there a fear that's coming up about this move?
Maybe with my husband, maybe finding work if we move. Yeah,
okay.
Like the prices of the houses are going up. That's all. Finding the right one.
Right. So what I'm getting is that there's blockages and it's coming from a fear-based blockage. And so in that case, if this were what you guys wanted to do, I would tell you that you need to start writing it down. What do you want in a house? Where do you want it to be? How do you want the house to feel? What specifics do you want in the house? Things like that. Get very specific about what you're looking for. What's the price of the house? Things like that. Get very specific. And then if you're into it, pray together about this to make sure it's the best thing for you. If it is, it'll line up. But as of right this moment, I just see a lot of blockages, a lot of hesitation. And I think it's your guys' own emotions getting in the way. So at that point, again, I would pray for guidance to make sure this is the best option for you.
Okay. Yeah, my husband has to have an operation in between too, so seems that might be sort of stopping it a bit as well.
So why the move then? Why do you have to move?
I don't really like it where I am, and my children and grandchildren are where we want to move. It's
How far away is it?
5 hours.
Yeah, like how many hours away or something?
Yeah, 5 hours, yeah.
Oh, 5 hours. Okay, gotcha. So I I'm gonna say that if you guys can get together and pray about this, and please, it is so important to write this out, write it out. When we are writing, we are using all of our energy. Please write it out, list out as many things as you can, be as specific as possible. If you guys can start to do that, I see a move in the next 3 to 5 months. Okay. If you are hesitant in any way and you do not do it, it will probably be longer than that.
Okay. Yeah, righto.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And then what was your next question?
If there's anything coming from my brother, any messages from my brother.
What's his name?
Dennis.
Just give me 1 minute. I'm just scanning to see if I can find his energy. It's not popping up right away like a lot of them do. Did he go in a traumatic way, like an accident or something?
Cancer.
Give me his. I'm not seeing his energy at all, so I'm just trying to find it. Has it been quite a while ago?
8.5 months.
Oh gosh, he's so fresh. Okay. Give me his birthday, please. Let me see if I can find him that way.
It's the 7th of the 4th, 1961.
Do you know if your brother had a lot of anxiety?
Maybe with work-wise, maybe. Towards the end of his cancer, he was, pretty well, had a lot of anxiety.
Yeah. So normally, like I can see them very well. I've been able to see them since I was 3. They're really easy for me. And he's so difficult. So what I'm looking for now is to see if he's in what we call the healing room, the healing center. Do you know if your brother suffered with a lot of anger?
No.
Okay. I'm just trying to grab the right energy, and he's just so difficult. I usually don't have this many problems.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ask me a different question. I'll see if he can come through. Is there something else you want to know about?
Just husband wanted to buy a new caravan.
I mean, that would be okay. What's the hold up with it?
Sorry?
Said that would be okay. So what's your hold up about it?
What's my what about? Sorry, I can't hear.
Okay, tell me again, one more time.
Yep. My husband was wondering, like, he wants to buy a new caravan. Just wondering if that's on the cards later on.
Yeah, so I think that that's okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Also have a hot rod. Okay.
Oh, so I'm just getting messages really quick from your brother. Just give me one moment. So, and it's not your brother. Please keep in mind, your brother is in what we call the healing center. So it's actually his spirit guides are coming through. They're telling me that he was really angry with the way that he went, and so he has a lot of work to do to overcome that. They're showing me that he had a beautiful smile and he liked to laugh a lot, but he didn't communicate well about his inner emotions or inner struggles very often. And so where he harbored that all down and he was so angry about how he left, it took him a while to cross over. They're showing me that he must have children that he didn't want to leave behind, or like grandchildren he didn't want to miss out on, or something similar. And it took him quite a while to cross over. And so once he finally crossed over, and he's got a lot of anger. He's got a lot of anger. So it's like it's like an onion, if you will. there's just so many layers to everything that he held on to and how much anger he had for going the way that he did, that he's in the healing center. And I can't reach him right now while he's in there. So the spirit guides are coming through to let me know. But they're just reminding me of like how much love he had for you. He must have liked to pick on you as well as be a protector at the same time. But his smile and his laugh is just so incredible. He is okay. He's doing great, they said. He's got a few challenges to overcome with the human emotions that he really struggled with, but he will be fine. Now, in the healing center, we cannot give it a specific time of when he's going to be out, but it looks like it'll be sooner rather than later because he's doing a great job. They're telling me to tell you to please talk to him. If there's anything that you need to forgive him for or to say to encourage him, like how much you love him to get through this next part of the healing, please do so because they can hear you. So you must be dreaming about him once in a while.
Yeah, I do actually, yeah. Sometimes there was once I was dreaming I was going to ring him when I woke up, but then when I woke up I realised I couldn't ring him.
Yeah. They're just showing me that he is coming to you in dreams. It's almost like every once in a while he's getting a break from this healing center and he's kind of like reaching out or, making a call, if you will. And he's just kind of doing little visits like that. But he's doing good. It just took him a while to get there.
Yeah. All right then. That sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear from you in the future. Oh, say it again.
Yep. I have a hot rod car. I'm got it up for sale. Do you see that selling anytime soon?
Yes, I do. I don't know how fast you want it to sell, but within the next 2 months, I do see that selling.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. Bye. Hey guys, so I just seen Patricia from York, Pennsylvania, which I will remember because my best friend moved to York, Pennsylvania last year. Hey Patricia.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for doing a reading for me today.
Yeah, of course. What questions can I help you out with?
First of all, I think I have some abilities. I get a lot in dreams. I was a registered nurse for 27 years. I've seen a lot of things in hospitals and things to this day that I cannot explain other than to say that, do I believe that spirits exist? Absolutely. Do I believe that there's a lot more to life than what we see? Absolutely.
Right.
First of all, I mean, my mother has come to me on numerous occasions since she's passed, but I've heard nothing from my father. Can you pick up on either one of their energies and let me know how they're doing? I kind of told them out loud about a half an hour ago, now is your chance if you want to say anything to me.
Okay. Patricia, do me a favor and give me your birth date, please.
8/31. The year is 64.
My goodness, you guys today think so much. Gosh, your brain. First of all, I will do my best to pick up those energies, but I have to tell you some stuff first that I'm seeing so strongly with you, okay?
Okay.
You really do have abilities, and not just in your dreams. You are so sensitive to others' energies, and what I see a lot of is ghosts being attracted to you. I see it a lot in the hospital. They get right up in your face and they're always trying to communicate with you. You have a way of like shutting it down, but there's only so much you can take on. So it'll come out in, I don't know how else to word this properly, forgive me, but it's almost like temper tantrums within yourself or getting angry or grouchy, some type of emotional diffuse like that because it's not your energy. Them trying to communicate with you goes into your dreams frequently because that's how they can reach you. But if you weren't so busy and so stressed out, you would be able to see them clearly with either your human eyes or your spiritual eyes, like I do. And that's what's happening to you. They talk to you. And when you notice it or pick it up, if you will, you hear it as thoughts coming across your mind. It'll sound like you and it's one of your thoughts, but it is them talking to you.
I completely agree with that statement. I have seen them I've seen ghosts in the hospital. I worked third shift for 17 years, 7P to 7A. I have seen light phantasms. I have seen equipment turn on and off. Different items with electrical. And like I said, I've had a lot of dreams. I can tell you the one vision I had, and I know it sounds crazy, is my mother on Christmas Eve getting all dressed up, telling me that she was going to Jesus' birthday ball because she said she heard it was the party of the year. I told that to my priest on that next morning, and he got all the hair stood up on his arms, and he says, "You do realize that that was not a dream, that was a vision, right?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that because I was expecting him to be like, "No." Yeah. Well, you have to
No,
get.
absolutely.
So, the interesting part though is I was asking Spirit, well, what's the purpose of you seeing ghosts? And they're so sassy. They're like, duh. It's to help cross them over. You're not somebody who attracts spirits, you attract ghosts. There is a difference. Ghosts need help crossing over, and that's why they're going to keep presenting themselves to you. You'll get it in your dreams because your brain can finally be at rest where they can sink in, and you know the messages can come through because you're not busy during your sleep. So that is why you're meant to help them cross over. It's almost like you're meant to help them be the last ear before they finally get to move on to the other side, to encourage them. You're very good at that just for people in general. But in a weird way, it's almost like you can understand spirits and humans. Does that make sense? Or ghosts? Ghosts.
No,
you can connect with them so well.
Many times things will happen in my house, and I'm like, okay, who's ever here, you are free to go. You know, you need to go cross over. You need to leave. You're not welcome in my personal space right now.
And does it work for you?
Yeah, because usually whatever I hear stops.
Okay. Can I give you a little bit of advice after doing this my whole life? Okay. So the number one thing is, they're not supposed to be here, but some of them don't know that they're dead. Some of them have things to do, and many, many, many of them are terrified of what's on the other side. So what I do to them, for them, is I just say like, hey buddy, like I know for whatever reason that you're here, but this is, the year 2026 and you don't belong here. And I understand you might be afraid of what's on the other side. However, there's no such thing as, I apologize, Patricia, because this might go against your religion, but this is how I see it. And this is how I've communicated my whole life. There's no such thing as Judgment Day. We judge ourselves.
No.
We came down here with the plan and we decide if we accomplish that or not. So there's no such thing as Judgment Day. You can go into the white light, notice who's there for you, look to see who's in there. And if you don't like it, you can always come back, I promise you. But once you finally go into that light, you're going to get rid of all these human emotions and you're going to feel that love and excitement for life again that you haven't felt in a long time. Like, please go. And you will start noticing that they'll start thinking about it, or they'll start looking in the light, or something similar, and then they'll leave shortly after. But in my opinion, if I'm telling them you're not welcome here, they're not getting the help they need. They're just forced out of a home, still wandering around without God's healing. So if you're meant to cross them over, please learn how to properly communicate so that they'll go back, because we're just getting infested with ghosts right now.
I will be more cognizant of that, because I used to sit at the bedside of patients that were passing away and tell them that it was okay for them to go, that their family was there waiting for them on the other side. I told that to my father when my father was passing. Even my mother the day before she died. She told me that she was going to go to heaven and that she was going to take care of my babies that were waiting for me. And she was going to hold them and take care of them until it was my turn to come. And I told her, I said, Mom, you go ahead and you do that. Please do that.
Yeah. Well, your mother leaves you little gifts around, just so you know. Your mom tends to leave you pennies and feathers around as a reminder that she loves you. Your mom also likes to see you smile a lot, so I know it doesn't seem like she was a prankster in this lifetime, but she does little things like moves things around so that you can think about it, and she's saying hello, but she loves to leave you pennies and feathers. Pennies in the weirdest places, by the way. Your dad has a lot of love for you. So much love. Like my whole heart feels like it's just so open and huge and warm and fuzzy because he has so much love for you. And he showed me memories of when you were little and playing and how you'd sit on his lap. And he said that even after a hard day of work, just having you around healed his heart. He says that you never really understood how, I guess maybe how amazing you really were at helping to heal other people just with your light, that you don't tend to see that for yourself. He's also showing me how kind and caring and compassionate you are, and you tend to take care of everybody else. So he's reminding you to take care of yourself and don't burn your candle on all ends. He says all ends, not just both ends, all ends. Okay. So he does come.
So glad to hear that.
He does come to you in your dreams, but not as often as I would have hoped for. But that's because you're so busy doing things. You are such a natural gifted healer. And people like us get out of our bodies while we're sleeping to go on to the other side to do more work on the other side, which is why he's saying that you never feel fully rested, by the way. So your dad is also telling me that he protects you frequently while you're sleeping because you get out and do so much work. But he wants you to remember to pray that as you're sleeping and out of your body doing work, to please allow your body to be filled back up with that healing energy. But there's so much love from both of them to you. Your mother, she's funny, but she's kind of saying like, I can't wait to see you, but not like you're going to pass away anytime soon. Okay. There's a lot of love there. Patricia, I would love to talk to you, but I have less than a minute to get off the air because my time here is up. I will be in York, Pennsylvania, the second week of April.
Wonderful. I will look to see where you're going to be, and if it's an area where I can purchase a ticket, I would love to attend one of your events. Thank you so much for the reading.
You're welcome. You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot coming to you finally live from New York, where we get together every Wednesday, except for the times that I have technological blow-ups. I don't think I've done this show live for a month, maybe, and I can't even tell you the nightmares that this has been giving me. The the laptop went dead, and at the same time, my cell phone blew up. I mean, it exploded. It was gone. It didn't exist anymore. Now, I was able to replace the computer pretty easily, but then I found out to my horror that my other one was so old that none of the USB ports fit. So I had to get adapters and all. But let me tell you, the nightmare was the cell phone. I don't know if you've ever been through this. I just hope you don't. Every time I made a call to my cell provider, it took me an hour to get through to talk to somebody to tell them what's going on, because there were layers of security. I get the feeling that somewhere in the world, they want my phone. Somebody's after my phone, and the CIA is going to stop them from doing that. But I needed to, in order to even speak to them about replacing my phone and reactivating, activating another phone and keeping the same phone number, which I would appreciate doing since I've had this for years. They kept saying, well, we have to send you a text message with a code in it. And I said, that's very nice, but I can't receive a text message because my phone doesn't exist anymore. It got blown up. Well, what you can do is send us 4 government documents in triplicate, and then it would go on and on and on. And I'd say, no. There's another way. And I had to go move mountains really to do this. But I finally got the phone a couple of days ago. Now, all that time that you didn't hear from me here live, I didn't have the cell phone either. I had the computer. I finally got that going, and I'll show you a couple of things I did with it. But gosh, this is, it was insane. It was like something either Kafka or Joseph Heller. Every time I had to start over with somebody, they'd say, okay, we can help you. Just let us, we're going to share. I sent you a text message. I said, I can't get a text message. I don't have a phone. Why not? Because it's broken. It blew up in pieces. It fell, it smashed, it's over, it's finished. So I have notes on all this. It's unbelievable. I mean, it reads like a burlesque comic sketch, that they're like the thing where the guy says, he spits on the sidewalk and he won't pay the $2 fine, and he ends up going to the chair. That's what I kept thinking this was like. It was getting out of hand. And I finally got through to somebody who said, oh, well, we don't need to send you a text message. I said, thank you. I said, I know what they do. They're going to ask me for my social security number. Then they're going to run that through a machine, and it's going to generate 5 questions. And all I have to do is answer those. And they're quite simple. But no, this time they wanted government documents. They wanted various things, passports, driver's license, none of the stuff that I've got. I mean, let's face it, I have no interest in traveling, because if I haven't been there by now at my advanced age, I'm not going. So this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing for all that time. All that time, I would urge you to find, if you can, somewhere. It may be on YouTube. I know it's on a set of records that you can find at the Internet Archive. It's a history of comedy by George Burns. There was a classic television sketch with Milton Berle as a man simply trying to get a library card. And it goes on for 4 years. The sketch covers 4 years. I was stuck in one of those things. I mean, why can't things be as easy as, you just pick up the phone and you want to see what I mean? I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Can I reach over without hurting anybody? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Folks, this is my telephone. Obviously, it's not my cell phone, but this is my phone. You know, that's a very old phone, folks. You know, that's an old one there. Dials don't work anymore. So I have a gadget from the 1970s that does tones, touch tones. But you see, that's the kind of stuff I'm okay with. I just want a nice thing that it makes a ringing noise, and I pick it up and I stick it next to my head and I say hello, and they say, hi, how are you? We have money for you. I say, thank you very much. And then I hang up, I couldn't believe it. So now I've got this new cell phone that does almost everything that the other one did, except mostly doesn't. There's improvements. I forgot about that. I forgot that in the mere 3 years that I had the phone that I blew up, the improvements, you save me from the improvements. Now, I'm okay with the computer. There's a few improvements there that I could live without, like the little key off to the side here that you can barely see, but if you happen to touch it while you're working, it locks your screen. Yeah. Thanks. That's a good one. I don't need that kind of protection, but I did some work. Speaking of old times, I made a new shaving soap, which is right there. It's got a picture of Charles Darwin on the back. This is to honor the 100th anniversary of the Scopes monkey trial in Dayton, Tennessee, in 1925. It's been 100 years. Can you believe it? It seems like it was only yesterday. And I made a special soap to honor that. See, that's what I do with my time. That's my life. I'm coming out with soaps to honor all kinds of stuff. But hey, why not? There's people who collect anything. So I figured, why not? Maybe somebody will buy a few of those. But the shaving is good. So there you go. So that's what it was. I didn't take a vacation. I need one from the time off. I really missed you guys. I missed it. I really miss reading for you. I did some readings for people. But I had to postpone several because I was frantic. I just don't understand why they couldn't get the fact that if I'm calling because I need a new cell phone, I can't get a text message. Doesn't that sound simple to you? Sounds simple to me, but hey, I guess I'm ultra simple. What else we got? Oh, I picked up a few more of these if you're interested. A lot of people don't read the Bible. I think that's safe to say. Well, I've got a special Bible here that you can't read. Nobody can read it. I don't even know if I'll be able to show it to you inside there. I mean, can look at that. I mean, it's too small, but it's the Bible. So if you're interested in carrying some of those around, let me know and I'll pop one over to you. I could do it for the postage if you want, or I can charge you $7 for it. I don't, whatever you want. But take my word for it. You'll be happier if you just pay the postage. But that's the way my mind works. Is look for ludicrous things and share them with the world, because why should I suffer alone? So I'm back to normal. I'm back to being relatively, for me, normal, which means, I'm up to my the bridge of my nose in doctors again. But the time that I spent away from you, reluctantly, had nothing to do with illness. Okay? I'm doing okay health-wise. I mean, considering how messed up it is, I'm doing okay. I mean, there's a lot of people worse off than I am. But I surely started to shuffle the cards and talk to myself. It's just so strange. A few technological glitches can drive a person nuts, but what the heck, right? I learned, for instance, that when I take everything from my old computer and I migrated into this computer, it wipes out anything I may have put on this computer. It just starts from scratch. But fortunately, I am a very redundant person. I keep backups of everything. I'm writing a blog piece about a rather interesting encounter I had with the world in 1978. Yeah, people were alive in 78. And that was a good time, relatively speaking. I enjoyed it. Back then, you could live on 200 a week. That was the equivalent today of like 50 grand. So if you think about that, in 1977, 78, $200 a week was a fine salary. And I had an apartment. I had all kinds. It was life was sweet. Life was nice, and I just caught the sweet spot of growing up because it was not difficult. It was actually quite rewarding and a lot of fun. And I came out of that relatively unscathed. A couple of marriages and psychotic nightmares that I may still have now and then, but that's par for the course. So here we are. We're back. We're in fall. Last time I spoke to you was summer. We're in the autumn, and see that always reminds me of that Sinatra song. When I was 21, it was a very good year. When you know what's depressing is when you find out that you're so old that you don't even have a verse in that song for you. So I try not to get involved in that. I try to keep things positive, So there go the cards again. You see, I'm clumsy. I'll tell you why I'm clumsy, because I'm scared. I'm nervous. I haven't done this in a while. And I'm like the person who thinks that it's gone, if I don't talk to somebody for a month, which is almost impossible to do. But unless you're a mendicant eremite, I don't know. But I don't. I'm always afraid that I'm never going to learn to talk again. But I've said enough anyway, especially now. But I'm a professional talker. I have been that for many years, and when I write in my own voice, and that's the other thing. I wanted to do this, and then everything technologically went to hell. I have a newsletter, a free newsletter, actually free. You don't pay for anything. Which I put out. Let's see, every 4 times a year. Is that what I do? Winter, spring, summer, fall. No, 2 times a year. I used to do it. I used to do it 2 seasons at a time. Well, I'm doing it 1 season at a time now. And we're going to get 4 a year instead of 2. We're going to get 1 for the spring, 1 for the summer, 1 for the fall, and 1 for the winter. And that now I'm going to be able to fill that up, I hope, because it's only 1 sheet of paper, but it's fun. I like doing it. So that's about it. You take a look at my eBay store is growing. I'm putting more and more stuff there. I've been mailing out shaving soap. I may not even admit that I've ever done tarot or magical work in my life, and just say I'm a soapier or whatever you call that. But I do enjoy it. I've got loads of these soaps sitting here. This is my basic one. This is the basic Mojo Brothers shaving soap, and I like it. I missed a spot right here, though. I hope you don't think less of me for that. But I knew there was something I meant to do. I meant to just shave that. So why don't we get to the readings? Because I'm doing what is professionally known as babbling, and I don't want to do that. So I've got the cards all shuffled up. I've got let's move the microphone a little bit over here, and I will now ring a bell 3 times, as is my habit, to declare sacred space. And now going to pull back the curtain on the magical window for Heather in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Heather. You're on with Reverend Elliot. How you doing tonight, Heather? Hello?
I'm doing good. Yes.
Well, good. Good. Now, promise to be kind to me because I haven't done this in like a month, you know. So I'm a little nervous. I always get nervous anyway when I face the public, but now I am, you know, because I get this feeling that somebody's watching me, you know, like that. So what can I look at for you?
Well, my son passed about a year and a half ago, so that's what I'm looking for.
That's not good. That's terrible. That's terrible. You want to see if there's a message or something of that sort?
Correct.
You know, because it's an odd thing that I never did that before doing this show. And, well, I don't know if I want to call it a show because, you know, I don't have an orchestra and dancing girls and all that. But let's say before doing this presentation, the thing is, these things usually follow a pattern where there's like initially sadness in the reading and then happiness, which is kind of interesting to me. So let's shuffle them up. Was the passing sudden?
Yes.
Because what I've got here is the tower struck by lightning, and that's about a sudden upheaval in a person's life, and you know that's what gave me that notion. Well, this is the Lovers is here. That's an interesting card because forget about the meaning of the card right now. We're looking for a message. There's an angel in that card. And when there's angels in cards, and I'm doing an afterlife kind of reading, it makes me very gives me the feeling that I'm on the right path. You know, that's a good one. So the passing was sudden. There's a melancholy look about the person, the man on this card in this particular deck, which may just be a coincidence, but it's there's still a bit of sadness there from transitioning from one layer of life to another. I never thought that I could do this, by the way, because we go on vacation and meet people and they say, oh, we'll get in touch, and you never hear from them again ever. So how much less likely are we to hear from people when they're in another state of existence? But it does seem to work, you know, which is interesting. The next card I have here is the Star. Now, here, first of all, that's a card of hope and optimism and things working out better than you thought. But here's the thing. The Tower, the Lovers, and the Star are major cards. And all major cards in a reading means it's a very important reading in your life. So that we need to keep that in mind, that there is something going on here, and there is some unfinished business. I paused there because I have another major card, the Magician. This is a person who is using spiritual power on another realm and bringing it down here to Earth. So I'm interpreting this as your son is kind of watching out for you. You know, do you get the feeling sometime? You do?
Yeah.
Because that's what I see here. So that's fascinating stuff. I'm not seeing any. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not seeing anything melancholy really, except that little bit of sadness on this person's face. But that's just a peculiarity of this deck. I have another major card here, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and that signifies life changing and moving on and changing to different levels. So this is very good stuff. You know, the person passed suddenly. It was a shock, but the spirit is growing and learning and gaining power and understanding. And the Wheel of Fortune is that the spirit is evolving. So if I had to say, is there a message here for you? Yes, then that would be it. By the way, that's the High Priestess. That's another major card. You have 6 major cards here, and there's only 22 in the deck. So that's astonishing. So the message here is I'm looking out for you as best I can from where I am and to where you are. Okay?
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to know?
Just that he's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Just that he's okay.
Yes. And in fact, here's another major card, which is the Hierophant, which is a card of religious and spiritual growth and authority. I see... I don't see anything to make any kind of pronouncements about the type of life he lived, but I see a soul that is growing and evolving and is taking advantage of the things that are there in that phase of existence. Yeah. So that's good stuff, right?
Correct.
So I think, I think he's going to be fine. In another realm of existence, shall we say? Okay.
Yeah.
So I will light a white candle to send positive energy to you and to your son's spirit. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for calling, and hang in there.
Thank you.
Because you know he's watching you. He's watching out for you.
Right.
In fact, here's another major card, which is the Moon, which is about unconscious memories, and he may be speaking to you in dreams. So you might want to pay attention to your dreams a bit more. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And let's shuffle up the cards. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, which is what I call this exercise in tarot reading. If you want to know more about what I do, check out magic-works.com. That's MAGICK, a little dash, and works.com, magic-works.com. There was so many years ago, before home computers, we had stores all across the country called Woolworths. Some of you may remember that. They all became Foot Lockers, by the way, because that was the coming thing. And the Woolworth store here in the Times Square area had a machine that let you print out like 30 business cards, 20, 30 business cards. So I figured I'd give it a shot and see what it looked like. I still have some of those cards. And the idea that I came up with for the name was Magic Works, as in Magic Works, or like a factory. It's a magic work. So that stuck with me for years and years and years and years. And of course, Woolworths is gone, but the memory lingers on. So check out magic-works.com. And there's like 100 and something pages there. So I certainly don't expect you to fritter your life away looking at it, but you'll find some interesting things there. You see, I'm so out of shape. I haven't done this in a month. Anyway, that's life. Rhea in Humboldt, Kansas is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi, how are you tonight?
How are you? Not too bad.
Good. Well, maybe we can make it a little better. What can I look at for you?
My family, maybe, like my surrounding family. Like, I have issues going on with my older brother, and I just
everything balances out. I was a younger brother myself, and I I had problems with an older sister who, somewhere around the end of the Eisenhower administration, decided it'd be fun to kill me. But we don't speak to each other much. I mean, old. So yeah, family. Boy, that family stuff is a backbreaker, isn't it?
Yes. Not good.
I have one solid rule. I have a lot of rules, but I have one solid rule, which is being related to somebody doesn't give them the authority to hurt you. That's the way I operate, But then again, I was always a rebellious kid. I was beaten by a New York State trooper at the age of 12, but I never held it against him because I hit him first. So, that's the way my life had gone for years. Yeah, I was rambunctious. What do you? Sometimes you've got to mess around to find out, right? So.
Right, and sometimes that's
So and just remember, there are people who take a perverse joy in upsetting other people. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. And I've never had any compunctions about cutting people out of my life if they're harmful. So what can I tell you, right? So is there something specific you want to look at? I have two nice cards here for you, by the way. Wow. The Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Coins. That may not have any bearing on anything here. Aces are beginnings, things starting. The cups are about emotions and feelings and romance even, and the coin's about money. So I'm seeing that we're heading into a new year, so maybe this is like a New Year's reading, that you're entering a period that's going to be very good for you emotionally and good for you financially.
Okay.
I don't know if that has any bearing at all on what you're interested in, but I take the good news where you can, right?
Right.
So it's very good. Now let me ask you this: you don't have to get too detailed. A lot of people listening, Is there something going on within you and the family and all that involving legal stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I asked that because I have the card of justice here. And that person is the card of justice. Yeah, and that person is very serious. That person, she's holding a scale and a sword. And, the sword is serious. The thing is that means you're going to get the justice that you deserve, that you've been denied.
Okay.
Does that play into what you're going through right now?
Yes, a little bit. Yes, it does. Actually, a lot.
Okay, because look at what I've got here. I've got here that there's money coming your way, there's emotional satisfaction coming your way, and there's justice coming your way. And oh man, now this is a card that scares people because of horror movies, frankly. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors or something like that with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. That's one of those movies where everybody gets a tarot reading and dies, So we get a bad rap in the movies, but this is the death card, and now that doesn't mean you're going to die. That means one phase of your life is coming to an end and another one is beginning. So there's a lot of bad stuff, I can tell you, because of the next card. It's the Eight of Cups, one of my absolute favorite cards. A lot of bad stuff in your life is going to be falling away, or you're going to be kicking it away. The Eight of Cups is a person walking away from what is not working in her life and going towards that which is working in her life. It's a conscious decision to say I've had it. Enough of this. I'm out of here. Or as we I have a friend in the 70s who used to say, "Hey, I'm booking." Out. So this is very good. These are really, really these. I don't know how comfortable you are with yourself, but this indicates a new you on the horizon. And that doesn't really happen unless somebody wants to change. And I suspect you want to change things in your life, correct?
Of course. Yeah.
Well, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it successfully. And it's going to be very good for you. It's going to be really good because you've got the cups and the coins and justice, and it says death, but it's really more of a rebirth because there's a sunrise on that card. One phase of your life is ending and another is beginning, and it's going to be good. And the Eight of Cups shows that you're walking away from that which is not good for you, and you're going towards that which is. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so now the card I have here next is the Three of Rods, and that's a practical thing. That just means it's coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming because you're working on it. But it will arrive. There's a person here in the card looking out at the bay, and there's ships there. And the idea is that that person is looking at his ships that he's sending off to do business, and they're going to come back laden with goods. So this is where you are right now. You're at that point where your life is changing, and it's going out into the world, and it's going to come back with profit. Not necessarily money, although there's money here, but a profit in terms of wisdom, experience, good stuff, and justice. Please remember justice, because if you've got some kind of a legal thing going, and it's being contested, you're probably going to do very well, because all these are positive cards around it. Okay, so
okay,
keep that. If you feel that things are not happening fast enough, you can always go to AskOneRadio.com and listen to this, or you can go to Moonstruck TV and see the reading. Okay.
Okay.
But you're definitely at the cusp of a very good time. It can be a little scary, but I don't see any speed bumps here. I don't see anything where I say, but no, it all looks good. Let me just cut this one more time and see if we get anything here. Well, yeah, this is the Seven of Coins. That's a person who's comfortable with what they've got and is doing well. See, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
An excellent reading. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks. And look, if you have any questions about this, because it's kind of a complicated time in your life, you could just send me an email and I'll pull a few cards for you, no charge. I'm not trying to drum up business here. I'll just give you a few cards. It's asktarot@earthlink.net, and my websites, all of them have a contact page. I'm very easy to find. You just Google Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, okay?
Okay, yes.
So I'll be here if you need anything, all right? Let me know.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye now. And let's we passed the half-hour mark. I made it. See, I told you I have butterflies in my stomach because I haven't done this in so long. And I'm not proud of the fact that I kind of lost my temper a couple of times, but on the phone, with the cell people. But I feel a cold coming on. But that was more performative, Sometimes you have to lay down the law, be taken seriously. Because it was ridiculous that everybody kept telling me that they can't get me a new cell phone unless I answer a text message. which it was impossible for me to get. See, what can you do? Life. Well, that's one of the things. People, that we're going through a very weird time where people are furious and angry and rebelling and fighting. This is affluenza, as it used to be called. Human beings are problem solvers. That's why you come to read the tarot cards, because you can get an answer to questions. It's funny how it works, but it works, The peculiar thing about we as a species, if we don't have problems to solve, we'll create them. We will make them. I've seen it time and again in life, and it boggles the mind. But, that's how humans are. I mean, look at this. We're in the year 2025, and there's still people fighting over things like religion. I have my own theory about religion, like which is the right one, and I'll put it to you this way. I'm in New York, and you're in California, and we both want to get together in Kansas City. So I walk west, and you walk east. We're both going in opposite directions, but we're going to get to the same place. That's how I see it. That's about it, That's how I see it. And we're getting into a bizarre phase of that here in New York because, we have a mayoral election coming up here in a couple of weeks, and it's the most important election of our lifetime. Again. How many times have we heard that about every election, right? It's the most important election of our lifetime. So there you go. It's we just keep making problems for ourselves, and I don't appreciate being dragged into other people's problems. There's a group of people who tried to do that to me once, to my wife and I. They just decided that they wanted us to arbitrate something that we had nothing to do with, and they kept sending us these summonses to go, and they demanded we come and see them, and it was laughable. We just thought it was funny, but to them it was deadly serious. I still don't know what the problem was, and I really don't care, because I've got a problem. I got problems of my own, and so do you. There's an old Jewish fable about a man who comes to town, and he takes away everybody's problems and puts them all in a big bundle. And there's this big bundle of problems in the middle of town now. And everybody is free to take whatever they want. And they're all happy to just take back the troubles that they had and go back normally in their life, because it's probably much more interesting in the original. But yes, human beings are great problem solvers. There's a man right now in the news whose problem is that he's not getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Or as Stephen Wright, the comedian, once said, I would kill for a Nobel Peace Prize. Wait a minute. I can't let that go. Here we go. We need this. There we are. The funny thing is, this man who is dying for a Nobel Peace Prize, he jump-started my writing career years ago. I'll write about that one day. That's kind of funny. But because of that involvement, I went from being like a kind of a talented amateur to a professional. Well, they're two different things. And looking back, see, that's why I never make plans, because who knows what life has in store for you. The worst thing I ever heard is the advice: keep your eye on the prize, because then you're going to miss all the other stuff going around. Just throw your oars overboard and let the canoe float for a while. And you can end up like me. Rita in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. That's a triple-barreled name. How are you doing tonight, Rita?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, too, now that all the stress of everything technological around me being broken has been fixed. I'm actually a decent human being again. So what can I look at for you? Oh, I was nasty. What can I look at for you?
I would like to know about my finances and my love life.
Okay, hopefully they don't go together, because that is illegal in most states. But let's see what we got here. I'll shuffle them up. And has something kind of sad happened to you lately?
Not in the recent.
Okay, good, because the Nine of Swords is here, and that's a card of sorrow and sadness. So, maybe you're just, well, the next card answers that question. I was going to say, maybe you're just like me. You just carry a lot of depression around sometimes. The Ten of Swords is here. That's the one. The Nine of Swords is about, I think it was just here to set that up. We rarely get cards in sequence, by the way, in a reading, but the Nine of Swords is about just sorrow and sadness. The Ten of Swords is an ugly looking card, but it means the worst is over. Life has thrown its worst at you, and you're still here, and everything's fine. So that is an outstanding card. Now I do see. Are you retired, or are you working? You're looking for work?
No, I'm on disability.
Okay, because there's a Ace of Rods here is about the opening up of a new career path. So there may be something coming your way that you can do that you'll find interesting, and you're going to monetize it. Because there's money here. There's the 10 of coins, and there's the 4 of coins. There's loads of money here. So I just think keep an eye. I mean, something may come your way that I'm not talking about starting a corporation, but there may be something that you enjoy doing that you can do as kind of a hobby that you can make a little cash out of. This is why I bore to tears half the people I meet talking about shaving soap, because that's a tradition I'd like to bring back, because only 5% of men use shaving soap, but in 1925 almost 100% of men did. That's why I made my 1925 shaving soap here. But I did it because the recent inflation we had, when it hit near 10%, killed off all the affordable shaving soaps that used to be able to buy, because they were on a very thin profit margin. So I looked into it and figured out how to make my own. And it didn't dawn on me to sell it and market the thing, but I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to share it. So you see, sometimes these things happen. Mm-hmm. So there's something coming your way. That's the Ace of Rods. There's something is coming your way that is a possibility for business. And the 10 and 4 of coins are really good about money. I mean, the 4 of coins is a person who knows how to make a dollar work. Somebody might. People who don't know you might think, well, there's a cheap skate right there. But people who know you know, no, there's a person who knows how to get the value out of every dollar. And is that you? You,
I tried to.
Yeah, well, you're doing it according to this. The Judgment card is here. That's about rebirth. This is all pointing towards something new is coming your way, in terms of you. You know, like a new you. I see here, as I said, the Ten of Swords. It says the worst is over. Life threw whatever it could at you, and you survived, and you're here, and it's fine. The Ace of Rods tells me that there's something commencing in terms of commerce. And these other cards are really, really excellent in terms of money and spiritual growth. Oh gosh, and here's another one. This is the Ace of Cups. I had that earlier for somebody. You'll be entering a very fulfilling time, and now I've got three more cards that are all coins. The two of coins means you can juggle money and balance it and get things going. The Eight of Coins is generally, it refers to a person who starts a new endeavor and works assiduously at it and is recognized for doing that and does very well. And then the Knight of Coins, that means that's like the ace, but it's the appearance, you know, that it's coming. It's going to be here, and it could be a little unstable, you know, because it'll be up and down, but that's life, you know. It's going to be okay. There's so many good things happening here. I hesitate to say this because of the idea of disability, which I take extremely seriously myself. I don't wear it on this show, but I use an eye patch to help my vision because I have one eye that it decided to throw in the towel and stop working, and that's very disabling because it makes me unbalanced. So I walk with a nice old walking stick. I'm an old man now, but I was smart enough in my 30s to buy a walking stick for the day that I may need one. And I got a beauty, and it helps me because I can't walk very well. You see, this is what I meant. Life is throwing its worst at you. It's throwing its worst at me too, but you have the Ten of Swords, which says that the worst is over. So keep that in mind. Now, you're also, the High Priestess card is here. That means you're a person of great spiritual ability. And you're very much in touch with the spiritual side of life. So pay attention to your dreams. I saw the moon was here, the card of the moon. That's about the unconscious mind. Pay attention to the dreams and see, because they may be telling you something, okay? But you're about to, disability to the contrary, you're about to enter an interesting time of life. And you're going to have fascinating experiences. So keep on the lookout for it, okay? Because this is a really upbeat reading. Okay?
That's great. That's great.
Well, I'm going to see if I can squeeze one more call in. I only have a few minutes left, but it's been great talking to you. And
thank you.
You
didn't say anything about a partner. About my love life.
Oh, you did ask me that. So let's see. Well, okay. Here's one is the Nine of Coins is here. Now that is a person who is comfortable and okay being alone. Not necessarily a person who wants to be alone, but you don't freak out if there's nobody there. But these cards are really responding to you. This is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. Cups, remember, are romance, emotions. The page is the physical appearance of that. You go from the knight to the queen to the king to the page, and it's solidified with each. That's a gross simplification, of course, but it's solidified with each stage. And so that's telling me that something is coming your way. Now, let me tell you something. The Devil card is here. Now, that's not satanic. That's not evil. The Devil represents a very charming person who can do things for you and help you but will also try to control you. So look at if you get attracted to somebody and it turns out that that's what's going on, just keep that in mind. It's not a warning to stay away. This is a bad person, but it just says that because they're very. I mean, you can make it's like making a deal with the devil. You can do very well around people like that, but don't let them bind you. You know what I mean? That's and I don't think you don't strike me as the type, especially from these cards. But I think you're going to meet a super charming and attractive person who's going to be very good for you. Okay.
Wonderful.
And here's the Knight of Cups. You see that's the court cards again. Well, I've got to run. I've got a minute left. Okay, so it's been great talking to you.
Thank you.
You helped me get over my nervousness today. Bye now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
And that's it. We're out of here. I'm so unaccustomed to doing the show that I forgot my stopwatch. Silly me, right? So I've got to be out of here. Just remember, if you want to see what I do, you can go to magic-works.com, magick-works.com, mojoacademy.org, and you can see all the books and things that I have there, and you'll have a link to my eBay store, since I'm no longer selling on that big behemoth. So I've got to run. I'll be back next week. I got a lot invested in this equipment emotionally, if not money, but thanks for being with me. Bye now.